What is up, one and all, and welcome to the Thunderdome! It is March 1st, which means one thing, guys. It is bracket season. I'm already getting the ads when I'm watching my Hulu and all the other stuff. So, you know we had to do our own bracket. 2 years ago, we did a bracket stream for Best Lego Castle Faction. And I'm going to tell you guys,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's 2 years ago.
Wow.
2 years ago, which is insane. It is one of my most viewed live streams at this point at 25,000 views. And it's insane that that many people cared about us talking about this topic. So I was looking at it. I was like, we got to do this again. So I brought back the old crew with CheesyStudios, the one and only, the man with the Castle Bro title because of Lego Master. But the winners of Lego Masters Season 2 are also here with Mark and Steven.
Hey, former Castle Bros. We respect it.
Former. You got
Okay,
dethroned. Hopefully you'll get that title back one day.
Get
We'll have
that.
to figure out a
That's
way
you're gonna say tonight. If
Don't
Nexo
lost tonight.
Knights wins, you guys.
Oh no! I forfeit. I'm out. I don't want it.
And newcomer this time around is Lavish Bricks, guys. If you aren't following him, he makes amazing mocks, and he made a fantastic collab mock for a Black Falcon Castle at Brick Fair, Virginia this past year, which is how I met him, and it was a very beautiful build.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure there's videos out there about it, and I'd highly recommend going check that. But all their links are down below. Now, the main reason why you guys are here, we are going to discuss what the best Lego castle is. And I'm not saying Harry Potter. I already saw you out there, Lauren, commenting about that. We're not doing Disney princesses. We're talking Lego castle-themed castles with the 3-in-1 castle also added in. We're not doing Bricklink designer program sets because, one, they kind of have an unfair advantage because they are designed by fans. There's certain restrictions that aren't on them compared to your normal Lego castle set. Also, I'm not a big fan of the Bricklink designer program, so I'm just not gonna. Honestly, that has to be its own stream. So
Yeah,
but
definitely.
we have total of 36 castle sets that we're going to take a look at today. And I'm going to quickly refresh this thing 2 more times so that this is all random. We picked 36 different castles, added them in from all over the castle line. And there's also some forts and towers that are like main bases for, for the castle, different castle factions. So we also added them in. This time around, due to so many comments about it last time, we did add in a couple Nexo Knight castles. Will they lose round 1? We shall see. I know Mark's going to force them out. Actually, Mark wants them to win. That's
Mark, Nexo Knights. We know
No, get them out. No. Burn them, imposters.
But, yeah, so this should be a really fun live stream. We're going to try to do the polls in the chat like we did last time. And, yeah, anything you guys want to say before we get started?
Thanks for hosting again, Brad. sorry, it took 2 years. Sorry about that.
I mean, that's my fault. I kept trying to make this happen, but we got this, guy. All right, I'm really excited about this. So, as I said, we got. Should we look at quickly all 36 castles first, just like a quick walkthrough?
I think that's a good idea. Take us for the tour here.
All right. So, of course, we got the Lion Knights Castle, the original. Oh wait. I should start at the first one. Yellow Castle, of course, the original one. We're going to take a look at that. Both Black Falcon Castles, the 3-in-1 Black Falcon Castle. Both Lion Knight Castles. Both Black Knights Castle, which, it's funny because I got a lot of hate for not liking the Black Knights, but when it comes to Black Knights Castles, I really love them, so I think there's going to be a different tune coming out this one. Of course, the Forestmen's Castle. Dark Forest, Wolfpack. This is one of those sets that's more of like a main base than an actual castle, but we're going to still look at it. Both Dragon Masters, Royal Knights, Fright Knights. Both Fright Knights, I should say. Knights Kingdom 1. The weird, that's sort of Knights Kingdom 1, but also not Knights Kingdom 1.
The stepchild of Castle.
Yes, exactly.
The unwanted stepchild.
The unwanted stepchild.
No, I'm kidding. That's a space
All
one.
right. Both Knights Kingdom 2 castles. I think this is
Sorry.
the one Caleb wants to win.
No,
Sorry,
Oh.
Three Knights Kingdom 2 castles.
Underrated.
A very underrated one. Vikings, which honestly is one of the most, a very unique castle in this look. All for the fantasy era castle because some of the best ones Lego has done. Of course, both Kingdoms, both 2013. Duplo, because after last year's Times conversation, we can't deny Duplo. Duplo is a fantastic castle theme, and we need to talk more about it. One set from Ninja, and then two Nexo Knight sets.
Oh no!
Now, you all are probably wondering, there's one set missing from this. A certain 2022 anniversary set. And that's because, guys, this set is the best castle set Lego has ever made. There is no denying that. So with that, we decided for fairness, we're going to pull this one out. We will talk about it at the end, and we will compare the winner of the bracket to this one. But we thought it'd be more fun and a little... let's be honest, we all talked hype this setup last time a lot. This is one of the best castle sets Lego's ever made. And it just wouldn't make the whole thing fair. So we're going to pull it out for this time. But with that, are you guys ready for the bracket challenge?
Let's do it.
Do
All right. Sorry. Trying to get my thing to work, and it's not working. Uh-oh.
This is
You got this. It's worth mentioning, Brad. We also withheld Disney princess castles, Harry Potter, things like that are a little bit further outside the castle theme, right?
Yes, we really tried to stick to what's technically in the castle theme for this. So before we get going, so many awesome people showing up. What's up, Bauer Bricks? We got Little Oddity here. Eldorado Pirate Retro Lego Reviews. I see Brightest Switch Bricks in the chat. What's up, everyone? There's so many other people here. Fat Daddy Bricks, Oaktown Bricks, so many awesome people. I appreciate you guys all coming, and this is gonna be a very fun stream. So let's get right into it with our first matchup. Drum roll, please, because the first matchup is second Black Falcons Castle versus the Forestmen's Castle.
Oh dear, we're off to a great and also terrible start.
Yeah. Honestly, though, these two feel like they're like an interesting matchup at first. So, of course, we have this set, which is sorry, I'm blanking on the name here, guys. That's my bad. Forestmen's River Crossing, which came out in 1989. It had 357 pieces and 6 minifigures. Against it is... This was Knight's Castle, right? Yeah, Knight's Castle. Huh?
Black Falcon's Fortress, yeah.
Yeah, Black Falcon's Fortress or Knight's Castle, according to Brickset.
Really?
Came out in 1984, had 408 pieces and 6 minifigures. Mark, do you want to get us started here?
Hey. Yeah. They're both great, like golden era of castle sets. We've got one of them right here in front of us here. We can kind of have as a little prop. This one I think is going to get the vote for me, Black Falcons, because it opens up and you can make it bigger than what you would first imagine. So I think the opening feature is really great. You can actually modularly connect it with other castle sets. So I'm just going to go right out of the gate. This is Black Falcons for me. But I love Foresters. I don't think they're known for their castles, though. And that is a good castle, but I think that Black Falcons kind of embodies the vibe and the spirit of what we're doing here a little bit more for me. But two amazing themes. I think these were the two top castle factions from the last video, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So very
That feels pretty much right that they're starting us off here then.
But Caleb, you got a big grin on your face. What do you think about these two sets?
Because I was very passionately for the Forestmen last time around. But I definitely can get behind your argument here. This is a gorgeous little castle. Definitely a great mid-size one, too. You know, probably one that didn't break the bank back in the day. It really is kind of the perfect castle. It's got everything you could want, isn't it? I think this one's going to do it for me, too, just because, look, you got that beautiful printed piece for the building on the back.
Yep,
flags.
yellow tutor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, honestly, I'm feeling this one too this time around. Alex, what do you think?
I'm torn. I'm a huge fan of ruined castles. Like that's all I like to build. So Forestmen, that's like what they do. So this
Yeah.
one gives me so much nostalgia. I have one of the littler Forestmen sets from the 80s, and I love that. I think my vote's for the Forestmen.
Respectable.
Huh. Minecraft noises. So I've actually had the privilege of building both of these sets within decent time of each other, and the Forestman set also opens up. It also opens up.
It does have the back that does.
Has a lot of fun rooms. It's got a lot of tree leaf pieces, which you didn't get a lot of back then. That being said, it does look really cool, but I think the Falcon Fortress is going to do it for me, purely because it's a little. I noticed when I looked at the two side by side, that one's easier to play in, and it's just like it's got that perfect dollhouse feature where you can just open it up and then you have all the rooms on the inside, and it also has that unique panel. There's nothing specifically unique in the Forestman set specifically. Not to that size anyway.
It's a great unique set.
It's a unique set. You know, it's cool. It's got the base plate and everything. But yeah, the Falcons is a little bit more. It's first of all, it's more iconic. If you want to remake an old set, that's your go-to. It's got that iconicness that's so unique to Lego, and it really is a staple. So it's kind of stood the test of time a little bit better than the Forestman one. Not being mean to the Forestman one, I love Forestman. They won the last one. You know, I really pushed for that. So. Falcons. Yeah, Falcons.
All right, my vote doesn't really matter because that's 3 for the Black Falcons, if I'm correct. I'm just going to say we've seen this style so many times. It does a little more interesting with the front part there, like the fort thing, like the curves on the front's a little more interesting than some of the other ones we've gotten. I don't like some of the other ones did a really better job of being modular so that you could add on more to it, which I will say this one didn't do a great job of. I'll be honest, screw the Black Falcons. This is the cooler set. If I was to get these, I would rather this set right here because it's the trees, because it's like this abandoned fortress, which isn't something we usually get in Lego Castle. So I'm sorry, but this one's a win for me. But you know, that doesn't matter because Black Falcons Castle. You know, it's funny because last time a lot of people were saying, "Oh, you guys are so young because you're like, you know, making some of the newer factions go through more." And I'm like, guys, we've all enjoyed these older sets. Like, I would look at any of these and play with them. We all have a pretty rich and solid knowledge of these castles. So, look, we're looking at older sets here. But Black Falcons.
On that note, Brad, actually, Steve and I had the Black Falcons Fortress Finalist Castle set as a kid because it was reissued in, I think, 2001. So we got to from a young age.
We bought it new.
So it bought it new at Toys R Us as a reissue.
Off the shelf. It was
we had a nostalgic experience.
that and like 2 others. I think it was the Guarded Inn and like one other smaller one.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had them.
Fortunate.
We played with them.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There. Living proof right there, guys. We aren't just young people in this chat.
We're getting over here.
No. I don't think actually any of us are that young in this group. So
Compared to what? What are we comparing? What's the reference point?
I don't know. But guys, look, this stream's gonna go for a while. For those who are joining, look, you might be able, if you don't want to like the matchup, come back, come back later if you want to. There's gonna be so many matchups going on, and don't forget to hit that like button. And if it's your first time joining the channel, hit that subscribe button. But let's get right into that next fight there. All right, this is
Man, these are interesting.
the Knights of
Wild. That's the stepchild versus the new fan favorite.
Stepchild versus. Sorry, I'm taking a second to open these up.
There you go.
Wolfpack. I'm gonna quickly start this one off here.
Go for it.
Wolfpack's going all the way for me, and there's some really good reasons why. One, the Wolfpack is one of the coolest Lego Castle factions out there. I mean, the Wolf's shield is awesome. I want as many Wolfpack figures as I can possibly get my hands on. Secondly, I love the style. It's like a little bridge into like a little tower ruin. I like that you can open up either side. It's got some pretty good defenses right there. There you go. Mark's got it. Honestly,
Looks
just
great.
a solid set. You get 3
And here you go.
figures. It's the Wolfpack dream. Like any person who loves the Wolfpack, this is the set that they want to get. On the other hand, this set is just a knockoff of a better set. Like, Knight's Kingdom 1 Castle is so much better. Like, the other one is so much better than this. Also, a lot of the shields and stuff in that is stickers, which is just gross. Any castle that uses stickers for, like, the shields, it's just, There's some cool stuff. The minifigures in this set are so plain because they refuse to print the stuff. So, for me, I'm going Wolfpack. Caleb, you might have some thoughts on this.
Yeah, I do, because like I'm a huge Knight's Kingdom enjoyer, but it's obviously, but this is like what, Knight's Kingdom 1.5 or something like that.
Yeah.
Generous.
Well, it actually came out 2000.
It came out with the third wave of Knight's Kingdom 2, so it was like this strange little epilogue that didn't fit into anything. And yeah, it never has held any appeal to me because of that. Yeah, it's basically a light bluish gray rebrand of the Knight's Kingdom 1 Castle with stickers. So, yeah, I think if we go back to the Wolfpack, it's such an interesting castle design with the bridges going on, and that's as small as it is, it stands out because it's so unique. And I think this set inspires a lot of imagination because it makes you wonder what else could have been from Wolfpack. And I do like, I think this is just a bit more creative and there's a bit more love obviously put into the Wolfpack set. So even though I don't think I own any Wolfpack figures besides maybe one new Beastmaster, I feel a lot more strongly about this set than knockoff Knight's Kingdom.
I'll say I guess echo that. It's pretty obvious. Like, I want to like the Knight's Kingdom one because I like the large base plate. It's super nostalgic, but one of these sets has a really just such a solid identity, and the other one doesn't. Like, it has no identity. Like, what's going on? They both have a ghost, which is pretty funny actually. Now that I realize it, they both have a glow in the dark ghost.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the most spare the moment, last minute decision that it really suffers for our Knight's Kingdom category, our stepchild category. I love the fact that they brought back all these printed panels, for crying out loud. Those are pretty awesome. But the stickers is really, really hard to excuse. I'm pretty sure this is the only set with stickers outside of Duplo, maybe. But yeah, there's clearly an idea. There was a design. It's maybe a little quirky, but I wouldn't hold it against Wolfpack for being quirky because that's what makes it stand out. So yeah, Wolfpack is the winner for me.
Mark?
Well, Wolfpack.
I'm gonna put the top on it and say Wolfpack. I know Mark. Mark, you built it. You remade this one. I actually have right back here one that I remade that I'm working on a video for.
Nice.
This Wolfpack has been one of my favorite themes, other than good old Forestmen. But I think I like Wolfpack a little bit more. So my vote is for Wolfpack for sure.
Wolfpack going through. I love to see it. Next up.
Mark has to start.
Let me The Fortrix, which came out in 2016 in the Nexo Knights line, had 1,140 pieces and 7 minifigures. Versus Caleb's favorite set, Castle of Morcia, which came out in 2004, 637 pieces and 8 minifigures. Anyone want to get us started here?
I'll go first. This is the one time I'll go first. You got two very, very different sets, but two sets that also have a couple similarities too. You have this is the big banner set for each theme.
Mhm.
It started each one out basically.
Not that one. Not that one.
It's
Sorry, that's not bad.
How to get to it. There it is.
Not that one. Yeah.
I have both of these sets. They're both great in their own ways. Next Night's a lot less great, but yeah. Let me put it this way. I have a lot more nostalgia for Knights Kingdom 2. I'm a big fan of that. I have a soft spot for that. It doesn't hold up as well as some of the other castle sets we'll talk about, but I think that this does have some cool features, especially I could turn it to an evil Vlad castle by turning around some of the panels and flags and stuff, so it's great. Next Knights, I despise this theme with a passion, but it has great pieces, and the figures are very unique and very special. So
contest,
and the mobility of the castle is fun. I will say, building and disassembling the Fortrex was painful and annoying. It was not a fun build. It was more fun to play with than it was to build.
We're Castle fans. We hate Technic. Okay, that's
yeah.
a solid
There's
truth.
way too much technical. Way too much. Castle Morcia is just a more classic on a base plate castle. I don't mind big raised basements. I think they're cool, but other people won't. I'm going to vote Knights Kingdom 2, but I can see the argument for both. So, yeah. Alex, what's your thought on these two? Do you have any nostalgia for either of these themes?
I love the Knights Kingdom Knights. I like the uniqueness of not just a faction, but like singular knights that you could just relate to and have. You could just pick whatever one you were feeling that day and just be like, this is my hero. I want him to take all the bad guys out or whatever. You can't do that with Nexo Knights, and I don't even understand what world they're supposed to be in to begin with, so I can't use other factions. So Nexo Knights has never been something that's interested me. I liked the transparent parts. I'm a huge space builder fan too, so those parts were useful, but that's kind of all they were good for. So Knights Kingdom all the way.
Let's go.
Yeah, mind if I go next? We'll let Caleb. We all know what Caleb's gonna say. So,
Can't let.
I have a love-hate relationship with Knights Kingdom 2. Obviously, it's what got me interested in castles, kind of to begin with. I was like the perfect target audience age group for this. We bought this set for $5 at a thrift store, and the only thing that was missing was the Scorpion Catapult. Everything else, every minifigure in perfect condition. It was instructions, everything. So I got it for $5 at a thrift store. So this was a gateway thing for us. So
It's the gateway drug.
I think it's very. If you actually build it and play with it, it's kind of empty. It looks nice on the shelf, but it is a bit empty. But I was hoping to throw it in the can, but no. Nexo Knights has to go. I think it was right for that castle to be on here, but I think Nexo Knights in general was just. Congrats for doing something new. It was too different. It was too strange. It couldn't fit any gaps that it was trying to fill. And we were all starving for a castle theme at the time. So Nexo Knights, I'm sorry, the bad taste is still there. You got to get out. Nice Kingdom 2. You were weird, but you were true to your source material.
Now, Caleb's an expert on this set. Right?
You are an
What do
expert.
you think, Caleb?
No, I love this set, and I have been doing a lot of Knights Kingdom stuff in the past few years, and so I got the chance to re-experience it just a few years ago and rebuild it, and it was awesome, honestly. So I got this for my birthday in 2004, so I've had this thing basically my whole life. And I will say the raised base plate is probably one of my favorite raised base plates. It's just a very useful, versatile palette to it, and the design is fun too. Again, it's just one of those things that helps you build up so much castle bulk so cheap and easily. The transforming feature is awesome. The only thing I can really knock this castle for is the interior, which is pretty lackluster. But I think we're going to find a lot of castles on this list that lack an interior altogether. But there's something, I think of what Steven said earlier about a castle with an identity. This is definitely one. There's something very appealing too about its perfect symmetry. I think it wears that very well. Obviously, this is a very unique, artistic, almost futuristic take on a castle. Maybe not so much as the Fortress, but I think that was it for a kid. This was perfect for a 6-year-old because it's big, easy pieces to work with. Made a castle, that's half the size of you, It was a ton of fun to play with. Great figures, great story. Loved the obviously this would have come with I think 5 of the cards, which was the trading cards. They were all unique to the set, which is more than any of the other sets had. It was just a whole experience when you got one of these. And so, all that being said, I am going to vote for Knights Kingdom.
I was waiting for you to be like, I'm going to vote for Nexo Knights.
It's got so much transparent neon orange that you can't get anymore.
You know what? I have a good argument that I want to save for this set. All I was going to say was I wanted to get Nexo Knights through, but this set is worth going through. I think Knights Kingdom 2
feels right.
needs a little more love in life, and this actually set is a great set. And I think the argument that a set is crappy because it has no interior is a bad argument, because when I'm a kid, I care about the exterior. I care about how I can use it with other stuff. So I'm not trying to get my hands in there to do stuff. I'm trying to throw rocks at it because there's a siege going on. So I think this set does a great job of it. There's some sets that just have great exteriors, and that's what's so great about them. So yeah, we all know the winner here at this point. Like, Castle Morcia going through, and I'll save my arguments for the next time. Ooh.
These are actually really similar. Kind of.
So, we have 2 sets here. We have the 3-in-1 Castle, which came... Black Falcon's Fortress, or I think it was... Oh, no, sorry. This is Knight's Castle. Oh, no, what? No, this is Medieval Castle is the official name. I apologize about that. I messed that up. And then the other set is Battle of the Pass. So Battle of the Pass came out in 2006 as 381 pieces and came with 11 minifigures, which is quite a lot. And Medieval Castle came out with 3 minifigures. I'm going to actually start this one off if you guys don't mind, because I have some thoughts. When the 3-in-1 Castle came out originally, it was... A lot of people disliked it. But this was right after the blacksmith for me, so there wasn't a lot of castle stuff. I was very excited when I saw the rumors of this. I picked up multiple copies because I got so excited. It's great, the pieces that... This is a great castle starter pack. The one negative side is that awful pirate figure that they stuck in there. Overall, though, this is a fantastic set, and I really love what they did with that. I love what I've seen people do with this set. I built it again recently because I had destroyed both of them to see what I could make with them. And honestly, this was a solid, fun build. I enjoyed building this set. I think it's got everything you need. It's got the drawbridge, it's got a little room for your king to sit, it's got a blacksmith, it's got a little market and a prison with a breakout wall. This set is everything you need. I don't know. For me, this is a great set. Battle of the Pass is kind of cool because it's this cool wall, and they did some cool things with it. The minifigures are great, but also Rogue Knights. And we all know what we thought of the Rogue Knights last time. I'm going with the black 3-in-1 Castle.
This is tough. You know what, Brad? I think I'm with you, which is too bad because there's a lot to like in this set. I was kind of, I've been trashing on Knight's Kingdom a bit, but there are a lot of cool characters. I really love the shields from this third wave. There's some pretty awesome designs, but this isn't really a themes battle like castle themes or castle factions. This is a castle battle. And I have to say, if we go to the 3-in-1, I do think it's a bit more fleshed out. I mean, you've got the color palette is amazing. You've got olive, you've got yellow, dark blue. Dark blue roofs are always useful. Everyone is using them for whatever. The figs are pretty lackluster with especially that pirate, but it does come with a dragon, and the other designs were fun for the 3-in-1 set. It even comes with the chickens too. Like a castle with chickens is okay, they went the extra mile. That's nice to see them building the world with it, not just so much a fortress is fun, but I think they went more in depth with there is a lot of action though. That is fun. But no, I think I'm gonna go with the 3-in-1 just because it did spark a ton of creativity for sure. It kind of stood the test of time. I didn't like it when it first came out, but after a while I realized, this is actually a good deal. It's a good set. So yeah, Brad, I'm with you. I'll go 3-in-1.
Okay, I'm going to be contrarian here. I want all those cool minifigures. The Battle of the Past is got all the action.
Even the Rogue
I do
Knights?
agree with
The
that.
Rogue Knights look awful, but they're the bad guys. Okay, they're the weirdos, biker gang of Castle that you can shove off the ladders and yeah. So this has got so much more action. 11 minifigures is crazy. Okay, that's awesome. You
They
got
both have
all
a
these.
skeleton.
You have
That is the only thing that made it hard for me, because 11
Yeah.
versus 3 is crazy.
You had
Like,
speckled copper, you had golden armor, chest plates, you
True.
had some really great accessories. There's weapons everywhere. There's a whole wagon that's just devoted to holding all the weapons. I mean, it's fantastic. So you go back to the modern 3-in-1 castle. That is like a modern Lego set with tons of great building pieces. So if you're a builder, that's great. But if you like to have a battle, if you like to
True.
make scenes with cool minifigures, I'm leaning towards the Battle of the
It's
Past.
about the castle.
I've never owned that set. I've always wanted it as a kid, and I never had it. I still don't have it. I need to track one down. But yeah, I know. We have two very different thought processes.
I do like the doors, though. I'll give it that. I like the doors.
I want to
well,
hear
you know who
Caleb
does
thinks,
own this set and maybe should speak about it is Kayla.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I have thoughts. So, little nice Kingdom lore drop. So this is a weird one because this was obviously the final set of Knights Kingdom. This was a special edition set released a few months after the other 3 play sets. And so this one doesn't fit into any of the official comics or stories that they dropped with the rest of the sets. So this was just kind of an outlier. One of the funniest things as I tried to buy this set last year was I found out that it uses 2 of the same sticker sheet found in the Tower set, the Mistlan's Tower that was released a few months prior. So it's very resourceful in recycling a lot of these familiar elements to bring them all together to create this really interesting, unique battle set. It was kind of like the ultimate send-off for Knights Kingdom. But yeah, this set is incredibly hard to find. There's about half the actual listings out there, and it goes for even like double the price of Mistlan's Tower, even though it technically is smaller. But it's hard not to love this set just because of how much stuff there is. As a castle, I think the castle part is probably the weakest part of this set, but it's like we've been talking about already, like the battering rams, the catapults, all the guys, the weapons, all the defenses on this castle. This is probably going to be one of the most fun individual sets on the list. And I'm a huge mock guy. We're all huge mock people, and so there's a lot of value in the Creator 3-in-1. But if I'm just taking the set for what it is, I think I'm going to go with Knights Kingdom on this one. Battle at the Pass is a set like no other, and I think it's just too cool not to love at least a little bit, Steven.
I'm not gonna lie, Caleb, you're changing my mind on this set a bit. I will say,
I'll bet, though, if you stuck the graphic arts are insane and the white background looks boring, but if you had them side by side, I think it would tell a different story just on the table.
One is a superior castle, one's a superior play experience. I'll put it that way.
I think
That's kind of where we're at right now.
this falls into what I was talking about. It's just a cool wall. That's all you really need. You just need something that you're defending. But
It's
Alex, we'll
actually
let you go. You're the tiebreaker here.
All right. I'm very torn here. So I bought 3 of the 3-in-1 castles when they first came out, and I made my own thing. I didn't even build what this was. I just wanted the pieces. It had a lot of useful bulk, great castle parts. So that was all I used it for. Where the other, the Knights Kingdom one, there's so many more figures in that. And as much as I love building, I also love figure collecting and just making an army. So if both of these are on the shelves today, I think Knights Kingdom is what I would go with. I think that's what I would want to buy.
Interesting.
This is the first time we have upset the polls. The poll was 70% for the 3-in-1 castle.
Not even close.
And we ended up with the Knights Kingdom 2 set. That
Wow.
is insane.
Upset.
I won't deny it as character.
That's a crazy
It
lineup
does.
for next round. Though.
Oh,
What's the next round?
Oh, jeez.
oh.
All right. I'm
We
gonna.
speed round this one.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. I have both of these sets.
Brad, what are your thoughts?
Jeez. Okay, so King's Mountain Fortress. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up the images here while I talk. So King's Mountain Fortress is iconic, like it is. It's the only castle kind of in this more like it's broken down, overgrown. It's like the trolls just threw it together. It's awesome that instead of like these big towers, they have big towers with trolls in them. Like the trolls are actually guarding the castle. It encloses, and you can also pull the parts together to make kind of like a different style castle. It's got a prison. It's got the cool area to do a little bit of sorcery. Got a couple solid catapults. Overall, this is a solid set, and I do really like it. But also, I will say, I think the 2013 castle from this era is a little bit overhated. It's honestly a pretty solid set. You get everything you want to have. Like, as I said, like, it's not always about the interior. It's about the play experience, too. And this set does have a fantastic play experience if you're that kid. You can pull it apart into multiple different sections. The minifigure lineup is great. We get 3 and 4, so you can kind of actually have a little bit of a siege going, but also, you know, some defenders on the walls. Overall, this set is an actually fun experience. And I did do a video about the 2013 castle, and I think this line is overhated. Mm-hmm. However, we got 10 castles like this. We've only ever gotten one orc castle. And with that, I'm sorry, orc castle has to take this for me.
Mm-hmm. Ditto. I agree with you, actually, Brad. I do think the castle line does get a bit overhated. I didn't think it was that bad. I think there's some cool stuff in it. There were some decent sets. It came with a molded dragon, which was fun. Which was more to say about some other really beloved themes too, which is surprising. But you can't get away from the castle line being a bit generic. This specific castle line, this theme, it's a bit generic, just a little bit. It's got a good selection of figures. It's got good, like the it holds over time. It doesn't
the longevity.
Yeah, longevity of these parts are fine. Like. It also this is like the perfect starter toolkit. Like if you had a kid who wanted to get into castle, this is like on a marketing level, this is like perfect. It's really nice looking. It was fun to build. I actually had this set. We had this set when it first came out. I bought it when I was on vacation. It was fun. So it's a perfectly good set. But that troll castle is ridiculously cool. It's kind of it's not even. It's almost like if you need to know, if you know kind of set. You know, it's super iconic to the fan base specifically too. Like it has that fun nicheness without being too under the rug. It's got some of the coolest figures. The 2 trolls, the troll king and queen. Is it a queen or is it the witch? Yeah,
witch. Technically, it is called a queen in certain sources, but in others, it's called the troll witch.
We know who I'm talking about. Yeah, she's amazing. The whole lineup is insane. I kind of. This whole line was so big, I'm not going to judge this set for not having a lot of siege equipment because there was plenty of other sets for that. And army builders like crazy. So, okay, fine. Just throw 2 figs. There's already 1 million in there. So it looks insane. It's got moss hanging. Yeah, come on. That's the winner. Yeah, that gets my vote for
Alex?
This one's quite easily the troll castle just because they're trolls. They're so cool. They're it's like classic fantasy enemy that you have to the knights, and I didn't care too much for these the Crown Knights or the Royal Knights or whatever I can't remember what these were called. I did, however, like in the 2013, I really liked those Dragon Knights they had in that. I've always liked the Dragon Knights, but just the red and black just look so mean, and I thought those were really cool. My brother had a ton of these sets when we were growing up. I don't know why I never bought any of these. I was probably into another line or something, but so I have the nostalgia for this because I remember seeing them, and I remember my brother and I playing with these together and whatnot. but I only had one of the troll sets. It was the littlest one that had the little catapult and one little troll. And I always wanted more. I remember seeing this in the catalog, and I was like, I want this, and I never got it. But yeah, my vote's for this for sure.
Caleb?
Yeah, I we already talked about it a lot, but like 2013 Castle just had the hard job of like following up on Fantasy Era and Kingdoms. And of course, like it is a downgrade of that just because it's targeted at younger kids. But I think the colors, like the bright blue as opposed to the red or the dark blue of Fantasy Era, just isn't, those prior two themes were just so much more mature. And I think they've aged a lot better because of that. Trolls Mountain Fortress, on the other hand, I love how this is just like the perfect pair to Fantasy Era's castle as well. It's basically the same layout, and it was just nice to have those perfect one-on-one battles because of that. And the minifigures are just superb. So Trolls Mountain Fortress all the way.
I will not tolerate this comment. Fantasy.
Kiss like King Kahooka, my Kahooka.
Yeah, I was gonna say, guys, Fantasy Era's top tier Lego castle. Like, it is some of the best Lego castle faction.
Like skeletons and trolls. What the heck?
We need to watch Brad's videos on these themes.
Yeah, I guess so.
Who beat out Fantasy Era? Who beat them? I don't even remember. How did they not get in the top? Now that I think about it.
In the previous stream,
yeah. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
So 2 points for my thoughts here. I 2013 Castle, I agree with you, Brad. It's a little bit overhated. I especially love that golden horse armor head piece.
Nice.
It's I think that's set exclusive, really cool. Wish we had seen a few more armor pieces for the new horse mold. But other than that, the castle's a little bland. Go over to Trolls. Yeah. This is an amazing castle, and I wish I had it. But I also am glad I don't have it because every piece would be broken.
Yeah,
but
all gonna break.
It looks so great. It looks so great. So if they came out with a modern version of this, absolutely. And this one is the best of these two for sure.
Reddish brown, man.
Yeah.
All right, I think Trolls wins that easily. I mean, you're right. Yeah. We should have sped run that, Caleb, but
it was good to give 2013 a little bit of a fair shakedown.
Okay, this next matchup, you guys ready for this? Because I think it's about to get interesting. Dark Dragon's Den versus Lego Kingdoms King's Castle.
Ooh, interesting.
So Dark Dragon's Den came out in 1993, had 214 pieces, 4 minifigures, and Kingdoms came out in 2010. If I remember right. Sorry, I'm jumping around here so much. 2010 had 933 pieces and 8 minifigures. Mark, one of your favorite factions is in this vote, so I'm going to let you go first with this.
Kingdoms is probably the Kingdoms Lions are probably my favorite faction of all the castle factions, just because perfect age, perfect time. I collected a lot of those sets, especially the chess battle pack, perfect. But this is actually a decent castle. It really is a throwback to the classic Lion Knight castles from light gray era. So this is it's fine. I think it's pretty good. Stickers are okay. They're not like super annoying. Figures are nice. I love the fact that the helmets are really a brilliant silver and gold. They're actually kind of like a painted texture versus just pearl. So there's some nice things about that. The red roof's a little bold, but I kind of like it. You go over to the Dragon Knights. This is a fun set for what it has. It has an awesome dragon, has Magisto, it has some Dragon Knights with those sick plumes. But the castle itself is pretty weak. You have one little battlement and a very small roof piece up there and a stairway. And so it's more of a mountain scene to keep your dragon in. So because I have a lot less experience with this set, I love this theme. I love Dragon Knights, Dragon Masters. But I have more nostalgia for Kingdom, so I'm going to go for that one for sure. But I could see the argument either way.
I actually own both of these sets. I've built Dark Dragon's Den, and I gotta say it's very underwhelming when you put it up against this Kingdom set.
Yeah.
When it comes to castles, I kind of want, I want to be able to play. I want to have some battles. And this set is great for that. You get the Kingdoms area, this little prison, enough battlements and stuff, and the minifigure selection is amazing. Also, my favorite, Dragon Knights are in this set. I love Dragon Masters, but this set is it's a really cool idea for what they were trying to do, where you put the dragon into the cage, and it's, I love the idea behind the set, and I think it is a fun set. It's great for what they did, but when you put it up to a set like Kingdoms, it just doesn't hold up. So for me, gotta go with Lego King's Castle, King's Castle.
Yeah, agreed. I think this set is cool. It's got lots of character. It's got almost that. It has a similar atmosphere to like what we love about Wolfpack. You can kind of get something like that from Dragon Masters and this sort of '90s silver age of Lego. I love the guy on the left. That horseman's really cool. But
yeah,
this set, it deserves to be on this list. But I think there are better versions of this set in this exact lineup. There's a larger set with a raised base plate coming up soon. That's a much better version. I built this set too. It is tragically underwhelming. It's mostly burps, which is fine if you need mountain stuff for other things, but as by itself, it's not enough. Kingdoms, on the other hand, not only is it an exquisite theme, it's so good. It's got great minifigures. Everyone still uses these guys, these weapons and stuff like that. We were so excited. I remember being so excited when this was announced. I was talking to a friend. We're like, "Holy cow, new colors for helmets! It's insane." So yeah, this is a really good one. It might be a simpler version of like the Kingdom, the Fantasy era one maybe, but I think it's a really solid castle. I think it's got more character than the blue one we just saw, the castle one. Yeah, I prefer it. I think it's a really great look. It's got a lot of fun parts to go with the bones of it. So yeah, this is a good all rounder. So yeah, we'll go with this, the Kingdoms.
Alex, what do you think?
What year did this Kingdoms come out again?
2010.
2010. That's what I thought. So my whole family, we got like a collection of these. I don't think we ever had this big castle, but we had all like little battle pack ones and such. And I just remember the fun of building them together and fighting each other with them. So that is a huge nostalgic factor. I love the Dragon Masters, but their castle just does not compare to this. It's more of like a little hut compared to this fortress that we have. So I'm going with the big castle one.
Caleb?
Yeah, I'll try to keep this short and sweet here, but it's definitely Kingdoms. I mean, I have a lot of nostalgia for the Kingdoms too. Like, it was first trip to Legoland when I saw these on shelves for the first time, and I was like, oh, I wanted that one.
Cool.
Couldn't take it back with me, unfortunately. But I think the Dark Dragon's Den just kind of suffers from having 214 pieces and trying to be the same size as the Kingdom set. But the figures here are awesome. And what other set has a minifigure kneeling down like that on the box?
I was just thinking that.
You're right.
It's true.
Oh, he looks like he's about to be beheaded or something. That's crazy.
The dragon must have stepped on him.
It's like he's like
Broke
getting
his
ready with
legs.
his like crossbow,
right.
sniper.
So
All right.
And that dragon too. Hats off to one of the most iconic Lego pieces of all time.
Sure.
For animals.
So with that, Kingdoms wins. So let's take a look at what our next matchup here is here. Ivory would be a fair matchup for Duplo.
Why?
All right, I'm gonna switch this up because Alex has been getting forced to go last a bunch. So I'm gonna let him go first this time.
no pressure.
Yeah.
Alex. So what we got here is the fantasy era. King's Castle Siege. It's not just King's Castle. There's a siege going on. Came out in 2007, had 973 pieces and 10 minifigures, which honestly pretty solid. However, on the other side of this, where is it?
In the blue corner.
Yeah. Sorry,
In
guys.
the
I
blocky
apologize.
corner.
Yeah. We have. Oh gosh, which one is this? The Duplo Castles had really crappy names. This one is Knight's Castle. Yes, Knight's Castle, which came out in 2004, had 168 pieces and 4 minifigures.
All right. To start it off, let's just say this is probably one of the coolest Duplo sets that they've ever produced. I would say hands down.
There's one that I think is better.
Accessories. Oh, you think so?
And it's
like
on this list.
Oh, it is. Okay. Well, This one I always thought was the coolest, just because it's the weapons are so unique. The armor, they only used them for these kind of sets, and you haven't seen them ever since then. The big ball for the catapult was really cool too. However, I'm a huge skeleton fan. Fantasy Castle. This was one I wanted really bad too. I remember it had the dragon. You had a bunch of skeletons, and just a huge fortress. This one's the Fantasy Castle is my vote all the way.
Yeah,
Mark,
I
or
agree.
Steven.
It's also one of the few large castles to come with a dragon that size.
Yeah.
I think it's the only one as far as I'm aware. This was coming off of Knight's Kingdom for me, and I'm like, okay, this is the real castle theme that I was thinking of. Sorry, Caleb, but that's just how it was. It's a little smaller in person, but to a kid, it would have been gigantic. As a kid, it would have been gigantic. It's iconic. It's quirky. It's fun. It's got great colors and parts. Marbled burps. Come on. I love Duplo. Duplo needs to stop going up against the cool, really iconic staple castle stuff, because this thing, I think, lost. It may have actually lost to the Kingdoms. Sorry, the Fantasy last time, I think. Now I think about it. But no, it's such a shame it always loses in the first bracket, because this is a phenomenal set. It looks great. Look at the box art. It looks like it's straight out of the 90s, right? It's so cool. So, oh, what a shame. Of course, it's Fantasy Era.
Caleb,
What do you think, Caleb?
I mean, I want so badly to vote for Duplo too, but like,
Come on.
this is like, favorite childhood set. I mean, Fantasy Era. My brother and I were crazy for Fantasy Era stuff. Yeah, it's Fantasy Era.
Well, I think it's already decided at this point, but I rationaled this by saying which one would I rather have in my hands right now, and I think it's that 2007 Castle, just because it's so awesome.
Smart.
We all love Duplo. We hope it does better later. We have some more Duplo surprises, I think, in store. But that being said, there's some weak points with this castle. Those Technic beams are ugly. I think those long shields sticking out of the battlements look weird, but the dragon and the awesome knight horse birding and some of the other cool details in the back really make up for a few small ugly details. But I mean, it's still a phenomenal castle.
And this was basically around the same time that Lego was up in the upswing, when they were going back.
This was the recovery period.
This is the recovery set. So this is like their comeback set. Literally, it's like we're here to stay kind of thing.
So, real quick, I think something got messed up, because there's supposed to be 3 Duplo castles in this bracket, and I'm only seeing 2. So, I'm going to try to fix that while we look into this, and I apologize for that.
No worries.
Because there should be 3, and I'm pretty sure I added 3 in. Because technically, this one should be in the bracket. I just gotta make sure I fix it.
What? I never even saw that before.
I don't think I have either.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make sure that one's in, because I think that would be the Duplo set. That
one needs to go into at least the second bracket, at the least.
Yeah. Going to this, I have this set. It's a really cool set. It's everything that we liked from the Kingdom set. So I'm just gonna move this one forward. There's no point. Like, the Duplo set's great, but this is a fantastic set. So speaking of Duplo. So this is this Duplo set, which isn't as good.
It's a terrible image, my word.
Yeah.
It's the only image I can find of it, and I apologize for that.
No, it's Lego's fault.
Yeah.
Brazier.
Versus this set, which is the Dark Forest set. So let me quickly read out. Sorry, I apologize, guys. I'm trying to do all this, like, keep track of 5 different things right
Good
now.
job, Brad.
We appreciate you.
1996 came out and had 464 pieces and 7 minifigures. And this set was just literally called Castle. Came out in 2008, had 115 pieces and 3 minifigures.
Decent parts count.
This is one of the few castle sets that came with a cannon. So that's interesting, and I'm just going to point that out. I'll quickly start this off here. I love the raised base plate in this set. I love how the forest it's sort of a fortress built in. I think this is overall a fantastic set. Going with Mark's logic, though, of which set I'd rather have in my hand right now, they're both very hard sets to get.
Yes.
So it makes it a very fair comparison. I love the figures in Dark Forest. I think this is the weakest of the 3 castles from Duplo.
Yeah.
I got to go with Dark Forest's Den, this one.
I built the Dark Forest a while ago. That catapult, it works surprisingly well. The play feature, the interior is the castle is more than about the interior, but there is a really fun interior. Like there's a kitchen area kind of thing. There's a lot going on with the set. It has a really nice raised base plate, like a really good one. And I like that the towers are the trees and they're brown. They're the normal brown instead of the usual black you always see. So it's a nice change of color. The color is done really surprisingly well. Figures are great. I think I like the last Duplo Castle better than this one. So yeah, I like this set better. We're going with Forestmen. Oh, what do you think, Alex?
I have basically the same view. I think the Duplo Castle looks very similar, except looks like the knights are swapped out for different faction, but they look like they have the same armor and weapons and such. But the Dark Forestmen, they're so much cooler. I like the uniqueness, the dark brown, or was it the dark brown, or was it regular brown torso?
Standard brown.
Standard brown. Okay, yeah. I just thought those were so cool and unique. You still have like the guy up in the tower. He's still got the classic kind of regular Forestman outfit and such, but the other ones are a slightly different, more realistic look almost. I think that's really cool, and these are so hard to find, and they're so expensive nowadays if you wanted to pick it up. So this would be my vote because I would want to buy this one if it was on shelves right now.
Yeah. Go ahead, Caleb.
I think on this round, I can confidently put my vote to Duplo.
Oh.
I have never been interested in that Dark Forest set. I think it's really messy. I think I like the use of brown, but they didn't commit fully to it, right? It's mixed in with the classic black of the trees. And I don't know. I look at this and I don't know what's going on. It's just, this set has just never appealed to me. The figures are cool for sure, but I think I'd still prefer the OG Forestmen to some of these guys. So, and the pieces on the Duplo set are crazy, and it's too bad that this render is hot garbage. I don't think it does justice. But there's some really interesting elements here. A lot of repeats from the other Duplo Castle we saw, but I think the colors here are better too. It is that more mature, dark blue and these darker gritty colors, and figures again in here, pretty awesome. So I don't know. I'm not going to die on this hill by any means, but I
do like that horse. A Duplo horse is kind of sweet.
Duplo solidarity. We love it. I'm gonna. Are you still working on things back end, Brad? Or are you doing?
Yeah. So I figured out what the issue is. So I'm going to quickly explain this. So that the issue is that there's technically only 16 slots on each side, and we put in 36, which was 18 on each side. It's basically I did math badly when I started this.
We should have probably figured that out, all of us, a long time ago.
Yes, so that's my bad, and I should have realized that because most brackets are 16, and for some reason my brain thought 36 when it should have been 32. So I am now trying to fix that. I know that was all one side of the bracket, so I'm gonna quickly. I gotta figure this out, and I'm trying to figure it out on the fly.
So Brad, we can maybe do it at the end or something. Kind of like quickly mix them up and see which ones would survive in the end or something like that. Whatever you want to do.
What did the bracket just eliminate 4 random ones, or how is it working? Okay.
So I now have to quickly put back the bracket how it was on that one side so that we can go forward. And so I apologize for this, guys.
You work on that, Brad. I'll talk about this for a little bit. I love the Duplo Castle. I think it's awesome. I love the dark blue, like you mentioned, Caleb. But I also love the fact that we're starting to get into slightly different colors with the Dark Forest because you got the brown trees, like you mentioned, Alex. So I think there's some nice novel things happening each side. I do think that Dark Forest is a little overrated. I think it's a little bit people get really excited about it. I know it's kind of a spicy take. I do know I'm pretty sure that this Dark Forest was a U.S. exclusive, so it is a lot more expensive,
price,
especially if you're in Europe. So I have a lot of European friends who wish they had this set. So that's something to take note of. I don't know about Duplo. I don't remember seeing those in store shelves. They probably were, and I was just obviously not interested in them.
I saw them in the magazine. I remember that.
I should have been. So I'm not gonna go full commitment to the Duplo solidarity like Caleb, but I did definitely see why this is a tougher choice for some people. And I think that most of the comments in the poll, if there was a poll in the chat, would be very much towards Dark Forest, but it's only like, yeah, I think I would choose Dark Forest, but it's only by like, 10, 20%. So.
Dark Forest is 86%.
On the 86%.
Yeah. I will say, Caleb, this set does look a lot better in person. Here, it's hard to see. The leaves look very tiny, but when it's bigger, the leaves have a much bigger presence, so it looks more woody.
I guess the angle dead on here
it's
too
very
does not do the
angle,
leads. Yeah.
But I guarantee it looks way better in person than it looks here. So.
That's reassuring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So because it's the graphic arts are really great, but they are almost distracting a bit actually. So.
They're also saying it was a limited release for only 1 year.
Limited. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, good luck finding. Yep.
Oh, sick profile picture.
That sick.
Is that King Jaco there?
Yeah.
Oh, David.
All right, that looks kind of sick.
Rocking that.
I'm going to quickly bring us back on track here. I brought the bracket to what it was. I'll figure out some way to grab those 4 sets and kind of throw them into the bracket somehow near the end of this. Again, I apologize, guys. That was... we're working with a lot of sets here, and there was only so much prep time I had.
Do you want to just push them automatically to the second bracket, so then we'll just push them in manually, like on a piece of paper, write them down or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I'll figure that out while we do our next one. All right, so checking Dark Forest, we're going to go up. We're Wolfpack versus... Oh my gosh, it's not in presentation mode, is it? Wolfpack versus the Black Falcons Castle.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
this is bracket 2. Oh,
yes.
Okay,
so we're still on that one side.
All right. I'll hold this one here.
I'll hold this one. And we.
That's
all right. These are our 2 choices. We've already kind of talked about them.
This is actually really hard.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to go with it. I don't care for the Black Falcon sets. I think I'm going to go with Wolfpack. Wolfpack is some of my favorite. Holy crap, we just hit 101 viewers. Sorry, that is fantastic. Thank you guys all for joining. I'm sorry you joined after we realized there was a massive mistake with the bracket. But I'm working on that. Wolfpack is just so cool. And I can't not but love this sets. These sets are such amazing classic castle sets. Tell Shy, I don't care. Whereas this set, we've seen so many sets like this. This wasn't even original for the time it came out. It just feels like so many other sets we've gotten. Whereas Wolfpack felt unique. It felt cool. The first time I saw this Wolfpack set, it stood out in my mind. The color scheme is cool and the figures are amazing. So I just got to go with this set.
Okay, I'm going to be contrarian and say that Black Falcons crawled so that Wolfpack could run. They were there
first. But they didn't, because they're nothing like the Wolfpack.
they were there first.
They were the bad guys.
When Lego went back and said, what are the coolest castle sets we can reissue in 2001? They picked that one and the guarded in. So, I still have a little more nostalgia for the Black Falcons Fortress. I just love the rounded turrets. It's a classic, true castle. The Wolfpack one is awesome. I love Wolfpack now. I wasn't always such a big fan of Wolfpack. That new figure has kind of reinvigorated my interest in that. But I think I still got to lean Black Falcon. So now it's back to 50-50. Let's give it to Steven.
Good. Why me?
Sorry, which one did you go with, Mark? I didn't catch that.
Black Falcon.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, Mark divided by Black Falcons. This is a hard one. Both of them have a lot of character. I really do like the versatility of the Black Falcons Fortress. It's a little bit easier to access the stuff, albeit it is a little older. It's a little bit more maybe not quite as detailed. It's got a little. I mean, it's got a little less
More
going
gray.
on. I do like the color scheme of the Wolfpack, but I think the Black Falcon's Fortress embodies the castleness tiny bit more. Only in the sense that as much as I like the wolf, it's starting to grow on me more now. No, I think Alex,
Look at it. Look into its eyes.
Stop it out. I gotta think about this one.
All right, I'll cover you. I love the uniqueness of the Wolfpack Castle. I love the split roof with like the hole in the center, so you could have the guy that climbs up and goes to the top of the tower or the roof or whatever you want to call it, and the little hideaway. It's just for imagination purposes that this castle was great because it left so much more for you to like, oh, I could add to this and make this right here, and where could I connect this? And obviously this one's so much smaller than the Black Falcon's like sheer size wise, where I have to take that in consideration, where if this was to the size of the Black Falcon or the scale, I think this was on just a 8x60 or a 16x32 base plate, where I think the Black Falcon one is a little bit closer to the 30x32. So yeah, it's pretty close. I'm gonna have to go not Black Falcons. Sorry, Wolfpack. I'm going Wolfpack just because of the uniqueness. The one with the color, just the actual architecture itself, and yeah,
The vibes.
yeah, the vibes, Wolfpack vibes.
Okay, I've decided. No, I did actually. If you look at the Falcon's Fortress compared to the Wolfpack, the Wolfpack Tower looks really good from the front. Like it looks perfect from the front. But if you turn it around, there's some exposed areas. It's the tower at the back looks a little bit plain, but I'm gonna go with the Falcon's Fortress because it's a little bit more 360. It also opens up more. You can play inside more. So I'm gonna go with that just based on practicality specifically. And it also came with more characters too. It came with horses. It came with other stuff like that. So we'll go with that. We'll go with Black Falcons. I'm more nostalgic for it anyway, so we'll go with Falcons.
Oh boy, tied up.
Sorry, Caleb.
I'm gonna make enemies of half the people here now. For me, it's Wolfpack.
Oh,
Yes!
Ooh, I get it.
Oh yeah.
It does look amazing, and I love this little gate.
Yeah, it's just unique. Yeah, that's all there is to it. It's just like Alex said, it just inspires a bit more imagination in me. It's very fun design, and I think that's why some of you here have been inspired to remake this with modern elements and stuff. It just is begging for that to happen. It's such a fun shape to tackle. So there we go.
Yep, Wolfpack wins this round.
Man, Black Falcons not even in the second round. That's
Oh, they
crazy.
made it to the second
Oh,
round.
made it to the
That's
second round.
There's another Black Falcons castle, so yeah.
One side than the other, right? Okay.
Yeah.
We could see a Black Falcon Wolfpack end duo, so they could fight again.
Sure. I don't also need to check to make sure that other Black Falcons castle. Oh no, I think it's still on
I think I
the
saw it.
others.
I think it's on the bottom.
Oh, it's one with the red arches.
Oh yeah, I see it.
No, that's Lions. Okay. Maybe-
Okay. I think that was one of the ones. So I'll make sure that's in there. I'm sorry again. All right. So Wolfpack moving ahead. Sorry, I was like trying to fix this all.
You're doing a great job, Brad. All right, you're doing a great job. You
All
got
right.
this.
Castle of Morcia versus
Whoa.
Pass. I'm just gonna say Castle of Morcia is such a better set. And I'm gonna say this about Castle of Morcia. You know what I like about the Castle of Morcia? The title. It isn't just Black Falcon's Castle.
Yeah?
It
King's
isn't
Castle.
just King's Castle. It's the Castle of Morcia. You know where that castle is located in the fantasy world. All right. And I appreciate that. I know that shouldn't be the reason that this wins it all. But to move on to another round, that is one of the reasons why I think it deserves it over Battle of the Pass.
You know, quick take, Brad. I think you're right. I've already said my piece about Knight's Kingdom, but yeah, I think the Morcia Castle. It's certainly more iconic, and it's definitely probably has more childhood memories for more people, I'd say. But Both of them have fun figures. You could, okay, one of them is more practical for figures, but yeah, it's got the raised base plate. It's bigger, and it's got those fun features and characters. And they did think this one through when they wanted to really bring it to life. So yeah, fine. We'll go with Morcia. Oh, Alex.
I'm torn between these. What was the other one that they're going against? Yeah.
So it's literally Knights Kingdom 2 versus Knights Kingdom 2.
I think what's going to carry this, which I feel bad, but the figures, I love the uniqueness of just getting all the unique knights rather than just these bulk rogue knights that look like they're running around naked. So I think I'm going with what was it? Castle Morcia, you were saying?
Morcia.
Yeah.
Morcia. Castle Morcia for me.
Mm-hmm.
You got a hot take, bro?
No, I have the most boring take is Castle of Morcia as well. Yeah. So Caleb, what do you think? You like both these sets?
Yeah, but I like Castle of Morcia. Just a well-rounded castle. Yeah. I mean, Battle of the Pass is great for what it is, but it's hard to compare that to this.
Mm-hmm.
This has a catapult too.
Yeah, exactly. I got a great amount of figures for this set too, and they're all very unique, and they're all wearing clothes, which is awesome.
And there's a skeleton.
There's a skeleton
with the floppy arms.
The floppy arm ones.
Well, Battle of the Pass has a floppy arm skeleton doing the same exact thing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I think he's also hanging.
Come back. Let me see.
You're right.
I'm very busy.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Never mind then. Oh wow.
The difference is he's on a weapon, the other guy's on a flagpole. That's the only difference.
Yeah, we should rank the sets based on the positioning of the floppy arm skeleton.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them have a big.
He's on the flagpole. That's way cooler.
I agree.
Yeah, you're right.
And he's also got a weapon in his hand.
Who is that guy? Why does the king have a dead guy and it's like, aren't these the good guys? Why is there a corpse running around the castle? Like, what is that about?
It's haunted. It's
haunted. Yeah, there you go. All right. Morcia wins that.
Yep. All right, Morcia. I mean, that's kind of easy. I looked at both those immediately and was like, all right, one of these is gonna. All right, next up.
Ooh.
King's Castle versus Troll Mountain Fortress.
I'll go first.
Yeah, go for it.
Maybe this will help people decide. First of all, I called it exquisite. I really love Kingdoms as a theme, and I think the castle. Oh, wrong one.
Yep, I know. Oh, that's still
I'm
wrong.
getting thrown off. Like, that's not right.
There it is.
All right. We'll start here. This is fine. This works. I love.
Which one do you want to talk about first?
Oh, we'll go with that first. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. I love this set. I think it's really good. I think the theme itself is also very good. I think there's only really good stuff about it. But it does have one slight Achilles heel, is that it does have a sort of repetitiveness. They took although you could say that about the Mountain Fortress, but the Mountain Fortress took the format, the bones, which people like, and made it as wild and as fun. And they really went on a limb and tried something totally new and different. Which this is like Nexo Knights dreams. It was this cool and original and fun. This is the cool and original and wild Warhammer, World of Warcraft. This is the crazy nerdy. This is the fun one. This is the one you get excited about. The Kingdoms one is what builds what builds onto your themes that you love, but this sparks the themes that you love. I think that one sparks it. The Kingdoms one kind of keeps it rolling. So that one would get me into Castle, no matter who. That would get anyone into Castle, the fortress, the Mountain Fortress. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Caleb, your turn.
Alex. It's good.
Or Matt. Sorry, Matt. Go ahead. Yeah. Sorry, Brad.
Alex, you can go. I'll try to give you a chance to come here because you usually get the end of it. I'm trying to make sure that doesn't keep happening.
No worries. When you're comparing these two, you have your generic classic standard light gray or light bluish gray and red, and then you have your super unique, crazy, wild, just way out of pocket kind of castle. And I feel like when you're looking at these two, you're going to be like, this one's more historically accurate possibly, but this one's it's cooler. So the orc one, I feel like it's just got more to offer, a lot more unique parts with the vines on the side. Obviously, we got a lot of that brown, which wouldn't do so hot. But if this was all released today, this would be for sure my pick over the standard Knight's Castle.
I know Kingdoms had problems with reddish brown a bit too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's all
Same
good.
story. Same story.
Yep.
Caleb?
Mark?
Trolls
I'm looking at
Mountain
Caleb.
Fortress. Yeah.
Soulbound Fortress, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love everything about it. And that Kingdoms is fine, but this takes basically the same format and does it cooler.
Yeah, if I was gonna if I could have one of those sets in my hand right now, I think it would actually be the Trolls Mountain Fortress because it's so darn cool. But yeah, Kingdom's Castle is a great castle, but it is also that's a vanilla ice cream cone. The Mountain Fortress is a giant banana split with all the sprinkles and stuff. Yeah, so it's,
Nothing wrong with the vanilla cone, but come on.
You want your banana split?
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a clean sweep for that one.
You don't only get just one troll; you get two, and they're not even the same color either.
They
So.
got
Yeah,
the
the different
tattoos.
colors.
Yeah.
Printed arms, man.
So
For
I will
sure.
say this real quick. I think there's there's 3 castles in the style that are very similar. And I think there's one that's better than this version. And if it was Fantasy Era versus Trolls, it would be a different story. But this castle isn't even the best. It's a solid castle, but it's not the best out of those 3. I
Probably
think
second
if this
place,
was up
maybe,
versus the Fantasy Era one, the Fantasy Era would win because there's so much more to it. Whereas this castle, you're right. There's just so much more personality. So I'm gonna agree with you guys here.
This might be the winner. We'll see.
It's definitely got a good chance.
Mm-hmm.
Fantasy Era versus Dark Forest. Now, not that I want the Trolls Castle to go against the Fantasy Era Castle, but I will
feels right,
say
though.
I would rather buy this set than the Dark Forest set right now. So I'm going to go with this set over Dark Forest. Caleb.
Fantasy Era for sure. I feel like my thoughts on the other set. It's fine, but this one's great. And we got to get that next round matchup.
Oh yeah,
crazy.
You know what? I think I'm gonna have to go Fantasy Era as well. I do like the Forestmen. I think that set's very, very fun. But you get the dragon. Come on, you get a big dragon in this set, and a lot of other fun things. So I always wanted this set as a kid. So yeah, Fantasy Era.
Alex, you like Forestmen. How do you feel about this?
This one for me is actually surprisingly not hard. The time I think between these two sets when they were made is the big upset. This just lacks the amount of parts that Fantasy Era has, and if that Fantasy Era set was what would we agree basically the top tier of castle for Lego, and this is just getting started castle. So I'm gonna say Fantasy Era all the way on this one, unfortunately, but fortunately.
Yeah. I like Dark Forest, but this has way more nostalgia for someone my age, so absolutely Fantasy Era. So.
But in all fairness, I do like that Forestman one, especially the trees. Those panels are actually really useful for some stuff. But yeah, this is.
We were talking about best castles. This is one of them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's gonna move it around to the next round. So I ran into something. I'm still trying to fix the bracket here. I'm trying to figure out what other castles are missing. So I know it's one of the Dragon Master sets. The Dragon Master Castle right now is missing, and the Duplo one that I showed.
Where's Knight and Castle? Is Knight and Castle in there?
Knight and Castle? Which one is that?
From
Yeah, the
Nexo
next
Knight.
night one.
Yeah, that's it. Top
Oh,
right.
okay. Jeez. Everything's fine.
All right. Gonna do the Fantasy Era set, moving that forward. Which brings us to Wolfpack versus Castle of Morcia. Oh my gosh.
All right, this is where friendships end.
You know what? I want to start. I want to give a.
Yeah, you know what,
straight old
Steven?
thing.
You take it. You
All right,
take it.
give me the picture on the left first. There he is.
You have that one right in front of you.
That's a good
Yeah,
point.
what do
You got it right in front of me. Thank you for reminding me, Alex. The Wolfpack. Wolfpack. The reason I like the Wolfpack one is I don't know if it's the old school, like this is a world that I didn't get to partake in, but I did get to partake in the Knights Kingdom 1, Knights Kingdom 2, and I know what it was as a kid and older. I had the full experience, but maybe it's because I missed out that this one is just so unbelievably cool to us and a lot of us our age because we didn't buy this off the shelves. We had to get this secondhand. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's wanting that era so badly, but I do like the character on it's the bad guy sport. It's for all the arguments you guys made, I think it outplays the Morcia one just by a little bit. So I'm going to go I'm sorry. I'm going to go with Wolfpack, just this one.
Okay, just so that I'm clear, I like the Castle of Morcia better. I love Wolfpack, but it's only a more recent enjoyment of that theme. Castle of Morcia was my childhood, man. I can't ignore the nostalgia, and there's a lot of great features about this set too. So 50-50 it up. What do you guys think? I'm looking at Brad.
They're bringing back the Black Falcons. They're not bringing back the Knights Kingdom 2, are they? They're only bringing back the
Not yet.
Okay, I'm gonna say it.
Getting spicy finally.
Okay, so
This
you
is
two.
important,
Okay,
Brad.
so it's Wolfpack and Castle Morcia.
You knocked off the Black Falcons fortress, man. You gotta have this.
Okay, Castle. Okay, I'm gonna quickly throw these arguments out here because I'm playing both sides of the field here, just trying to feel it out a little bit for myself. Castle Morcia is really cool. I love the fact that you can turn it around. Again, I love the name Morcia. It hit something with me because I'm always so sick of Lego just being like, oh, here's the Wolfpack. And it's what I think Knights Kingdom 2 did so well. But out of these two, out of the Knights Kingdom 2 sets, I think this is a cool set, but if I was to own one, I'd rather own Vladic's Fortress.
Mm-hmm.
Vladic's Fortress is such a superior set, in my opinion, when it comes to the playability. You get the giant wall. It's got so much character to it. This set is really cool. And I think they did do a great job with it. But Wolfpack just has so much personality shoved into a small set. And I think it really speaks to it. And it also speaks to the type of sets. I've always been a fan of the smaller sets. I grew up on getting battle packs and those really small sets. And one of my favorite sets, I love we're going to talk about it in the next side of the bracket. I love the Dragon Knights one for Kingdoms, that tower. It's really cool. And I think Wolfpack is just such a great set with a lot of personality to it. And I just got to say, I think Wolfpack wins this for me. I think the Castle of Morcia is a great set. It just factions and figures kind of wins it for me over the Morcia. I think that's the only thing that draws me to the set so much.
They did more with less.
Yeah.
Just saying.
They did.
Caleb, you're up.
This is going to come down to Alex, isn't it?
It is. Oh, we all know what I'm going to say. Castle of Morcia. Whatever. Have you ever transformed this thing? It's one of the coolest experiences, I think. It makes this castle. You get two castles in one, and it's just so much fun. I love this one. I think it's great. It's beautiful. Blue Violet. Come on, guys. We haven't even talked about Blue Violet.
That's
this
true.
is an amazing Blue Violet parts bag.
Agreed. Yeah.
All right, Alex.
All right, I will close. So for me, this one I have to take the minifigures out because there's more cool figures in the Knights Kingdom sets just because of the Knights, where Wolfpack is just the same little dude with a slightly different face each time. However, the castle look, again, I'm going to have to scale these. If the Wolfpack castle was to the same size of that, this would be a no-brainer for me. And for that reason, I'm Wolfpack.
Yes! Yes!
Don't get too excited.
Sorry. This one was a really hard one. I think the figures are what I was torn about. I have the nostalgia for the figures. I never had that castle, but I had all the knights. And I agree with you, Brad, about the Vlad's castle. I think that one his fortress was way cooler than this one, in my opinion, just because it's black, menacing. yeah. So taking the figures out, just looking for the castle itself, and taking into consideration the sizes, Wolfpack for sure for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I can see it.
That Wolfpack
Yeah.
wins that one, right?
Yep.
All right. I'm sorry, Caleb. I'm sorry.
Caleb's
I don't know how this little tower is getting so far, but it has.
I don't think it should go all the way. I don't think it should go all the way.
no.
It gets harder as it goes along. Who'd have thought?
All right.
Brad, you go first.
Yeah, thanks for that. I got thoughts.
Okay.
I got thoughts. These sets come from the same theme. So I think that shows a lot of character to it. These two are pretty awesome sets. And I will say, look, I told you, Brad, it's a 1957 set wins because it's like, no. Wolfpack hasn't gone against the set I'm about to say here. Trolls Mountain Fortress has what it takes to go all the way. Trolls Mountain Fortress is the cool set of Lego Castle. It's the unique, it's that castle style we've gotten so many times. This set, we've gotten 3 different versions of it, but it's also reminiscent of all the other sets we got in this style. This style is so done to death of the basic castle walls, and it's a great set, and the only reason I'm saying this stuff is because the other set is in the room with us right now. This set just did everything. It's just so unique and different, and that's what I love about it. It's trolls. Like, how many... we only got 1 troll faction, and it has still stood... Even though it's that 1 troll faction, it stood out compared to every knight faction we've got. It's not gotten buried. It's not disappeared. Like, this faction was amazing for a reason. And what we saw in the builds for the troll faction, they did a great job of copying that style and putting it into a castle. This castle is so different than everything we had gotten. I mean, it's kind of the same style of the walls and stuff, but overall it's different. And they did a fantastic job with it. It's so much fun to play with. It's so cool. The gate is not just your basic gate. They actually did something. And then the 2 big trolls in the front. I think this is one of the best castles. It's a toss-up between this and the Dwarf Fortress that really stands out to me. But I think this is just an amazing set from Fantasy Era. And so I got to go with this set. And real quick, Ninja is in this. Wait. That's not the count. Ninja is in this,
That was
guys.
a great comment,
We're only doing one side of the bracket so far. We're about to do the other side of the bracket.
You're only halfway, y'all. Hold tight.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll go next. Oh man. So Lego designed these 2 sets to go against each other. Basically, that's what we're doing.
We're doing what they meant. What they were meant
Engineered to be opposites and to be counter to each other, complementary and countering each other at the same exact time. So we talked about the trolls, the big printed trolls, but we also have the black dragon in this one too. So it's not like this thing is the lightweight going in. I feel like this castle had more to prove than the trolls, because this was exiting the Dark Age. This was before the trolls, so this had more to prove as a set. This was a whole new format. It's actually sort of reminiscent to the old format of the old school with the wall panels. You can kind of see them on the side there. So it's still going off that old DNA. But I think the Trolls set as an overall package feels just the slightest bit better fleshed out. Fleshed out, I guess you could say. Realized. A slightly better realized. Because there are a few little spots in this set that just are tiny. In the Fantasy Era Castle, there's just a few little eyesores, just a few, and it's just so small, like that tower hanging in midair on the left there, on the next to the treasure chest tower, and like Mark said, the Technic beams look a little empty, and the gate is maybe a little bit plain with just the bars. You know, there's no doors or anything. It's there is the drawbridge, of course, and I feel like, and some of the columns look a little small. But if you go back to the Trolls Castle, you can't. It's so hard to nitpick. It's so hard to nitpick. It looks like the gate looks so cool. The torches are bigger, and you've got the dark red krunnels, and you've got a much. I don't know if the color's better. It's hard to say, but I think there's just a little bit more. They got the snowball got bigger and bigger and bigger, and this is a slightly bigger snowball than where it started, just by a little bit. Because I love the fantasy era, but when that one came out, it's like, oh, this is a game changer. And frankly, it's hard to find another castle that was this epic after. It's hard to find anything that was better after this. So, so close.
One castle set is bad. One castle is better after this.
It's hard to find one, like really hard. Even the 90th is struggling, in my opinion. And then the cool factor. I'm gonna go.
When it comes to cool,
In the cool factor, yes, I'm gonna go with the trolls. Yeah,
Alex.
This one's a really hard one. I loved the figures. This one's obviously for the figures for me is the orcs. They're really cool. However, the little black skeleton that's in the very back of the Knight's Castle, you can kind of see him hanging from the roof. Yeah. He was the coolest figure for me. I still have that exact figure from when I think I got him in a different set, but he's always been my favorite figure. I don't know why. He's just very unique. You don't see him. I always pretended he was the one that got burned and came back to life or whatever.
Yeah.
The dragon in this, I've always loved the dragons, and I don't know. This one's really hard. I really want to say this, the Knight's Castle over the Orc Castle, but I just feel like the Orc one, you get more. You got all these unique, cool pieces. You can really stick any other castle up against it, and it will still be the equivalent of this castle if you wanted it. So I think for that reason, unfortunately, I'm going to say the Orc one.
That's 3 votes.
Yeah. Trolls Mountain Fortress, I think, is kind of like a master class in the use of sloped elements. Just look how so much of this is brick built. There's obviously the big specialized pieces. We got some burps, but the facade especially is very much built out of your classic Lego pieces. And it just creates this really fun environment like that we've said again and again. It's just so unique, so memorable. You can tell instantly who the trolls are when you look at their castle. I don't think you can say that about the Crown Knights when you look at the King's Castle Siege. This is a big gray box and it looks great, but like the trolls is just oozing with personality. I love that about that set.
Yeah, trolls as well. I think the stickers to make up for texture on the 07 castle is a little bit thick.
Yeah.
I don't think you have any stickers on the Troll Fortress. It's all slopes.
You're right.
Yeah.
There's not even on these panels, which they could have put.
It's close though. You had to have the vanilla one to have the really big one again. So, yeah.
Oh, what's funny is the windows on the Trolls Fortress are almost exactly the same as the ones on the Castle of Morcia. They're just a longer slope.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pretty funny. I just realized that again.
That's why I like it so much.
Oh man.
All right, so that brings us to the end of that one. So Trolls took the cake for that, which that's a hard matchup no matter what.
Yeah.
So I did find the final 4 missing castles. I again apologize for this. So King's Mountain Fortress was missing. Knight's Castle, which is the first Black Falcon's castle.
That's what I keep.
Fire Breathing Fortress was missing. And Black Castle, which was a Duplo one. So I think King's Mountain Fortress and Fire Breathing Fortress go against each other in this bracket and face up against the winner of this.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't remember what they look like, so go for it.
Yeah. Let's check those right now. So King's Mountain Fortress, which is why I wanted to put these two against each other. So this one is that it's the Lion Knight one. It's the second Lion Knight's Castle Lego made. And then the other one, which would I say, Fire Breathing Fortress, is this one.
Oh, these are good matchups, actually. Ooh.
Okay, that's why I kind of picked it. They're very similar. I'm going to quickly go first because I've actually built both of these, and I own both of them. Now, Caleb, I know you love this set. You talk very highly of it. At least you did in the last stream. I hate this set. I am very much frustrated with this set because I built it live and had an awful experience while building it. So it sticks very poorly in my mouth. One of the things I don't like about this set is it's literally a drawbridge up to a ramp to a little spot on top. That's it is. And then like there's barely any other interior. This set, it goes up. There's a little area behind it. You can go up to the top battlements there, and it's like this nice thing. There's you pull a lever, and it drops you into the dragon's cage, which is really cool. There's a little living area in that tunnel there. You can raise up that front thing, and a dragon comes out. There's stones that come out of the dragon's head to knock people unconscious. There's a wall that falls over that you can either have people escaping or shooting crossbows into people that are sieging it. You also get a Wolfpack figure, which makes the set superior.
Now, hold
there's
on.
cloth
Hold on.
flags. There's a cloth flag in it.
That's kind of cool.
Is so cool. I love this set. I love the Dragon Masters. And out of the two Dragon Master sets, this is the better one by far. And it comes with that classic dragon piece. I gotta say it, there's so much fun to this. I had a lot of fun building it. There was those really cool printed pieces with the gold dragons on it. I gotta go with this set.
Well, I feel the need to go after you here. So the reason I love this set is because this is my only classic castle set besides the yellow castle that I own.
You own the yellow castle? Well, hold up. When did you get the yellow castle?
I have most of the pieces to the yellow castle.
Okay.
So I have the box and everything and the instructions, which is really cool. I've never tried to put it together. I'm too scared that something's going to be missing.
There it is.
But yeah, there you go. So I love this one just because it is the only one that I've actually built before. This is a gift from my grandmother. She must have picked it up from a garage sale at some point. I think there's really fun figures in this one, but definitely as a castle, and especially as a king's castle lacking a king, it really sucks. But it does not make great use of the base plate because it should have something there, whereas Dragon Masters makes
Fire Breathing Fortress
makes great use of that base plate. And this set does crack me up. I think that brick-built dragon head is hilarious.
So derpy.
It's so bad. And it's just because there were no small detail elements at the time. But this is definitely the superior castle. So, yeah votes for Fire
I think this
Breathing.
one uses a better usage of that raised base plate.
Yeah, it's a den for the dragon. I think that's awesome.
It's the perfect way.
Yeah,
Alex? Oh, sorry.
I'll
Steven.
go next if that's okay. Unless Alex, you want to go next? I don't want to put you.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. So yeah, I agree with the sentiment. What's funny is I really like and really dislike both of these sets. I love them and I hate them. I believe I've built both of these. I know for a fact that this era specifically, their instructions are terrible. They're so hard to follow. The 80s ones were actually a little bit easier in my opinion. But yeah, this one's a little better because it has a nice, let's go back to the old one, actually, the older one, I love the minifigures. There's a lot of good minifigures going on. They got the princess, the knight with the caparison, the horse barding. That's a really good one. But yeah, the usage of the set wasn't as good. I think there were some suggestion sets that came with it on the instruction builds. Alt builds, yeah. And those look better than this. Although I do like the tree. The tree is kind of fun. But yeah, let's go with the Fire Breathing Fortress. As silly as that head looks, it's got a little bit more character. It's got a little bit more definition going on. So yeah, we'll go with that. It's still kind of a nightmare to build it, but it does make use of that base plate. Both of them look cool with their printing, but yeah, it's kind of close. But we'll go with the Fire Breathing Fortress. Sure. Alex, go ahead.
So I like I can't tell if it dives in on the Lion Knights castle, but it looks like there's a little courtyard almost. I think that's kind of neat.
Build this really janky step up.
So there's room for improvement.
Yeah,
I like
the
a idea,
treasure chest,
though.
if I remember right, Caitlin.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really weird, but it's a hinged platform, and there's treasure.
Okay.
They should have put a courtyard there. What it should.
And I think looking at that's what I would expect to be there. It just looks like a great place to have some vegetation or something, like the King's Courtyard or whatever. However, the Fire Breathing Fortress, you have a great figure selection. There's also a Wolfpack guy hiding down at the bottom. You get a dragon, you get a wizard, you get a cool cape. So for that, Oh, God.
Oh, I love that.
That was just sitting on your desk.
yeah. It was in one of my little drawers off to the side. I was like, I saw the flag. I was like, I gotta grab it.
That's a
job.
great flag.
Okay, I missed all the previous ones. But
We
I'm
all
gonna,
said this set so far, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I'm also gonna go dragons because go back to the Lionite Castle again. That little wall going around the outside is the most pathetic
Just walk
excuse
over it.
of a fortification. You could basically step over it. So yeah, dragons all the way.
Yeah.
You get over those rocks. it's over.
Strategic nightmare to defend the Lion's Castle. So it's
It fails to be
So-
a castle.
These two sets are going to go against each other next, and then the winner of this is going to go against the Dragon Master's Fortress.
Okay.
So we've already talked about this. It's two heavy hitters that we've kind of talked about a lot, but it's Wolfpack versus Trolls. I'm going to start off as, again, I own both these sets. Trolls. I love the Wolfpack Tower. It's great. But Trolls. We've talked so much about this set, and I think there's not much more I can say than... Also, that crown with the Trolls is sick in this set.
Like a
Like,
copper crown.
yeah, everything they did about this set felt right, and it's good. And it's like, when you look at bad guy fortresses, which one looks like they both like that's a bad guy? Oh yeah, like oh yeah, that's the bad guys. You know, if you compare against the other stuff, you look about this like oh that's the bad guys. I'm gonna do it. Trolls Mountain Fortress.
I got it. I'll quickly agree because I think even the most hardcore Wolfpack fans would compare the two and say, you know what, if Wolfpack has to go out, that's a worthy opponent to kick it out. So it's out. And we're going with Trolls. It's just that who's next?
Yeah.
Caleb, go ahead.
Oh, Trolls Mountain Fortress.
Sorry, this is the best bad guy versus bad guy.
Yeah. It's a great set. Alex.
You're going with Trolls too? Sorry, I didn't
Yep,
catch that.
yeah.
Okay.
What is it, 20-ish years, close to 20 years gap between this really, really is the big impact here. The sheer size, the part selection, the unique faction. It's really hard. I want to say Wolfpack so bad just because it's probably one of my favorite factions, but the orcs they're just a little bit cooler. So I'm going to go with the orcs on this one again.
So, 2009 versus 1992.
Oh, I guess it's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah, it's about 1992.
It's crazy what they did in that amount of time.
yeah, that's a mass transformation.
17
amazing.
years?
So think of it this way. If all the Wolfpack guys and the Ghost went to attack the Troll Mountain Fortress, they'd be roasting over a spit within 30 minutes. All the trolls at the Wolfpack Castle, it would be rubble. So I think the trolls
Hold up,
win.
hold up. If the Wolfpack are attacking the Trolls, they're not going, like, they're sneaking in.
They're
cutting
going
the
for the
throats.
loot.
They wouldn't go after it. Yeah, they'd sneak
Yeah.
in. But I don't think it would work. I don't know.
I think
but-
they'd be turned into a mushroom stew. I mean, they would be over. So yeah, I think
Sure.
the trolls win this for sure. But, yeah.
The argument that happens in the Hobbit, where the trolls are trying to decide what they do with the dwarfs, that would be what would happen with that.
Yeah.
How are we gonna cook them? Yeah.
Trolls, is that the answer?
Trolls, yeah.
Oh,
This one,
All right. So Trolls versus Dragon Master Fire Breathing Fortress.
let's go, trolls.
Trolls, yeah.
Trolls. I
For
love
the
Fire
similar
Breathing
reason.
Fortress, but I'm actually surprised this one has gotten this far. I really do love this set, and it's kind of blown me away that it's gotten this far. Anyone disagree with Trolls?
I think we'll let
I
trolls.
really
have
want
the
to.
bracket.
Go to the
but,
bracket. Let's get things really crazy now.
All right. Trolls is ending that bracket. We're going on to the other side. So
Oh, I
I'm
know
gonna
who's
list
winning then.
off
Oh, I
some
will-
of the
I will
heavy
fight
hitters on
like-
this side. Yellow Castle. The Black Knights Castle, everyone says is the best Lego castle. The Viking set. Vladek's Castle. The Dwarf Castle. We have heavy hitter and the Duplo Castle. All of these are insane sets.
Let's get started.
Let's get it. All right, so real quick, I'll throw these two sets up. So the first one on our right, it's this ninja set. So for those wondering about ninja, we did get a ninja set in here. Sorry, I've got to pull up my facts about this. So this is Flying Ninja Fortress, well deserving of the name with the flying guy on it. Came out in 1998, had 694 pieces and 9 minifigures, which is a pretty solid lineup, you know, if you look at this. And then we have this Nexo Knights Castle, which is, according to Mark, one of his favorite sets Lego's put. It's a Knighton Castle. Came out in 2017. And 1,400 pieces with it and 11 minifigures. So, I mean, Mark, do you want to talk about your favorite castle set here?
Okay. Yeah. No, it's awful. Okay, first of all, this is first wave was all right. I like the villains, especially in the first wave with the fire and kind of
the red orcs guys are awesome.
Vibe. These like stone electricity golem guys are really not doing it for me. Not even the colors are doing it for me.
Yeah.
There's some cool pieces, but that's about it. I do like the fact that you have the little King Halbert character in the middle. He's got the blue crown. It's kind of unique. I hate the Murloc thing over on the right. That just reminds me of all the modern mech characters, which are awful. And the big castle is trying to look impressive, but then you realize those are all stickers. So it's just really just going to bring the whole mood down. You go over to the Ninja Fortress.
There's not one sticker.
Those are printed
stone
masonry patterns on the sides. It looks amazing. It looks like a real feudal Japan fortress in a way. It's like, it looks great. It's got some amazing figures. It's got chrome pieces. So there's so many better features on this set than the Next Night ones. Just not even counting my own massive personal bias. But what do you guys think?
I'll take this quickly. I love the Ninja sets. I think Ninja is a very underappreciated line. They did so many great things with that line. And there's a lot of fortresses and stuff that we could have pulled from. And we pulled the best one because we were running out of spots. And I think this is a very, like, the fact that this beat out all the other ones, it's very deserving. It's tall. It's that unique architecture style, which we don't usually get. I mean, it's exactly what I love. It's a great facade, which you can have that battles. You got a front gate. You got walls you're trying to get on top of. Plus, the minifigures are amazing. I mean, feudal Japan, like, you can't go wrong with this. And then the flying machine.
That's
like,
more historically accurate than Nexo Knights.
Exactly. Like any flying, like we didn't even see flying machines in Fantasy era, but Ninja coming in with the flying machine. I mean, I kind of want to see another castle set do some flying machines like Ninja did. And so I'm going to go with Ninja.
Mm-hmm. If Ninja doesn't win, I will grab pitchforks and torches and riot. Like, this is the set,
we just need to, like, skip through this.
I need to get this out. I've
already decided it by saying ninjas.
Okay. Quickly. In my opinion, this is a hot take. In my opinion, Wolfpack is a fan favorite and is not underrated anymore. This, in my opinion, has taken the spot that Wolfpack used to have for years. This is the true underappreciated theme because it's been completely outshined by Ninjago. Everything is printed. And don't talk to me about Nexo Knight figures because we still use these ninja parts today. You just built a ninja scene and we use ninja parts from this set, not this set, but this theme, in stuff today. And Nexo Knights can't cross over into Castle. This can do anything you want for feudal Japan. If you don't want Ninjago influence or cyberpunk influence in your true ninja scene or true samurai scene, this is where you go. The flags are cool. Everything about this is so cool. I love the presentation. Nexo Knights, I'm sorry. No. No. Don't. I want to make a quick point. Think about it.
I want to make a quick point. You were talking about influence. This influenced one of the longest running Lego themes, Ninjago. Easily. Those cowls were used for a while in Ninjago. And certain, like the samurai armor too was used for, like there are certain parts that were used from this theme in one of the longest running Lego themes. So
they even brought the fish statue back. That fish, that koi statue, or I think maybe it's a dragon. They brought those back for some Ninjago sets too. Those old parts, they brought them back too. Yeah. It's crazy.
Does anyone want to say Nexo Knights in this round?
No.
Thank you. Thank you, Caleb.
No. I love this set. This is aged tremendously well. I think, all things considered, I think the best thing about it is like so many other castles of the time were just so hollow. This feels so solid. I mean, look at the bottom. There's not a single gap in there. This is is the antithesis of what King's Mountain Fortress is. Like, you cannot break into this one so easily. And the arts are spectacular. Like, we got 10 of those printed flag elements that we can see from this image. 6 of the fish statuettes. Oh man, yeah, great figure selection. And I've never built this set, but I have to imagine there's a lot of functionality and interior stuff going on the other side too.
There's trapdoors. There's like, you got a vine. You can climb up the wall and try and get in.
It's got the original vine piece. Yeah.
Another floppy armed skeleton just hanging off the walls.
Yeah. Where?
Oh, right on the tower, right?
It's got a pirate hat.
He's got a little red
bandana,
a do-rag.
a ninja that didn't listen to his training.
I guess so. Oh man, and the banner pieces are so cool. The strange flexi plastic, but it's this is very, very cool.
It's a strong set there.
Alex, you feel you like Ninja better than Nexo?
When Ninjago first came out, I hoped it was going to be just like this. I was disappointed greatly, because I had a bunch of these I got from a garage sale when I was a kid, and I had a bunch of these ninjas and the samurais, and I love the little chrome samurai piece. I have a couple of those. Those are so cool. The chrome piece alone for me would have done it, but the flying machine, you get that. The height of this, think of it like, let's say we were all like somewhere between 6 and 8 years old. The height of this one, and actually being able to place figures all the way up to that 3rd floor, technically 4th if you're counting like where the gate goes, and it's kind of the 1st floor is almost the secondary floor. You have so much room for play, and you can have people jump off and attack each other, where the other one's just, it's all a facade that gets you that height. And there's nothing to it. You have the wall, but it doesn't really look like there's much staging area, and I don't want to have a dark blue castle.
Yeah,
that's not a good parts selection for castle.
Unless it's underwater. No.
I will say, this era gets complained about a lot because it uses such big pieces, but can we talk about how beautifully they used big pieces in the set?
Perfectly.
Like, I didn't even think about it until I started looking at it a bit closer. So I think we can all agree here at this point, Nexo Knights doesn't compete in this area when it comes to their castles.
Not even close.
All right. Vikings versus Black Knights. Let me.
You want me to start? I have an answer.
Yes.
Go for it.
Okay. Pull up the one on the right, please.
One on the right, working on it. Yep. There we go.
Okay. This is a stellar castle. This is amazing. It's looking even better now that it's bigger. But no, this is a real champ in the world of classic castle.
Black Monarch's Castle,
I should say. This is a real heavy hitter right here. It's got 4 horses, and 4 horses of the apocalypse. But yeah, this is an amazing one. Don't think this is the one I'm thinking of, because this is the one I'm thinking of. I prefer this one to this one because it has a raised base plate. It's got some more unique elements to it. This is really, really good, and this is a really hot take. But let's go to the Vikings. Lego did something wild and different and fun, and it paid off in spades. This is something new. This is out of the box. This isn't like any other castle. It's this cool round. It is maybe a little bit simple, but it has a really cool buildable dragon. A lot of Bionicle, but it's really, really fun. I love the zaniness.
It was unique.
Before I talk myself out of anything too crazy, I'm going to go with my first quick decision and say it's the Vikings because it's different. It's fun. It blew my mind when it came out. When I was 8-year-old Steven was like, this is insane. Like, this is wild. That one I think outshines the other candidate. So I know there are better castles. That one is really, really, really good, but that one is more fun for me. So
from the same sub-theme.
The same era. That's incredible. They have 2 huge castles that size. But this one's cool, but there's more interesting ones. So I'm going to go with the Vikings. Just before I blow my own mind.
No, that's... Who do you want to go next? Who wants to go next?
Mark.
Thank you.
Mark.
Okay. I also, my gut instinct was to go with Vikings too, just because I love the speckled black pieces. I love Bionicle pieces. I think they're crazy and fun. That catapult is all kinds of ugly as you get older. It doesn't age quite as
Nah,
well,
not
perhaps,
really,
but it's made to be an awesome play feature to shoot a giant bull without a dragon. The Black Monarch's castle, I think, is also a very respectable castle, but it also suffers from being pretty simple, symmetrical. It has an awesome selection of figures. Like, if you were to have a battle between these figures and the Vikings would be vastly outnumbered. So that's very respectable, but I think as cool factor goes, Vikings wins for me, too. But, Alex, what do you think?
I'm gonna be the contrary. I love the black. I think the black is sleek. It's unique, just as unique as the brown fortified walls of like the wood stakes. You get 4 horses, 2 of them having the colorful bardings. A crap ton of figures in this. This is an army builder's dream. All these different castle figures and there's multiple.
We're all counting them.
I don't even want to. It's going to take too long to count them all.
Brad, how many in this set?
11 already?
12. I own it.
12 characters.
I own the set. So
I'm
pretty sure it's a
12
lot.
figs. Yeah.
Wait,
that's an immense amount. That's
How
close
many
to
does the
what
Viking set have? Just out of curiosity.
Probably like 6 or
So
4.
real quick, this set had Black Monarch's Castle had 12.
Vikings has 6.
Yeah.
Whoa!
There's a dragon, though. There's a dragon.
There's also 4 horses.
True.
I think I'm going to go with the people on this one and say this one right here, the Black
Yeah,
Castle.
this is winning a lot in the polls.
Yeah.
Caleb, do you mind if I go next?
Go for it. Yeah.
I got this set. I own this set. And every day of the week, I'd rather own this set.
Oh.
So this is a cool set, and everyone does. It is a legendary set, but it is just a facade. There's a little prison to it. The figures are great, but I've always hated the Black Knight figures because they're so plain and boring. It's great for army building, but if you want like actual cool looking figures, Vikings wins out. And I just think these figures in this set were. I mean, it's got the chainmail coif. There's no other faction that has a chainmail coif.
Yeah, the headgear.
Yeah.
This is iconic, but if I had to go, okay, so they're both facades. They're both just a wall, and you can fight it however you want. And in my mind, you have this set. You got a bunch of knights. Okay, you can maybe use some of the knights as bad guys too if you want. And then you got this set, which is also a giant wall, but it's like a wooden wall, which we never see that kind of style of like wooden fort in Lego Castle. And so that's really cool, and it's just an awesome facade. And you get a big dragon. I don't know. This set to me, I'd much rather own it. And I just think it's so unique too. I think it's something that like Trolls. Again, I don't think it's the best set. I think there are better sets on this side of the list that I think are going to beat this one out. But I do think I'd rather own this set than the Black Knights one, and that's what's doing it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I know the vote's decided, but I'll give my 2 cents regardless. Man, I built this one a few years ago when I did a video on it, the Viking Fortress, and I must say it's probably one of my least favorite of the Viking sets.
Really?
It's just only because the fortress is just there's nothing going on the inside.
It's 5 pieces.
Yeah, and like there wasn't so much as a table on the inside, and like it just kind of left me feeling a bit underwhelmed, I guess. What's great about it is that you can fit that $20 catapult can actually fit through the door and go inside, which is cool. And there's some fun stuff like that. It makes for a very good wall, but I couldn't help but feel a little underwhelmed. The dragon's great. The baby dragon's great. The figures are great. Oh man, this is a tough call.
We all felt it. I know it.
Yeah, I think if we go back to like which set would I rather have in my hands right now, I think Black Monarchs is the one. So I'm gonna put my vote in for that.
There you go.
It is an impressive set. That was a hard choice, but
they both have their things to it. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, this next one is gonna be such an easy win. All right, 2013 Castle for the Dragons versus the Royal Knights Castle. I'm gonna quickly say my 2 cents here as someone who owns both of them.
Okay.
This set was a disgrace The fact that they thought this could pass for a castle in that era, like at least the Kingdoms bad guy castle had a little bit more to it. Yes, it was lacking, but it had a little more love to it. The dragon's really cool, but it doesn't. The dragon wizard's really cool, but it doesn't save this set. It's interesting, and I do own the set, and there are a little bit of interesting layers to it. Like there's actually a little potions room in it, and there's a little bit of lifestyle stuff to it. I've built in this set. I've also built in the Royal Knight set. They both sit on my shelves. This set was a lot of really cool. There's so much to the interior. There's so many cool play features. I also don't love that this castle. I also love that this castle, the front of it isn't a drawbridge, which so many castle sets are. Just a drawbridge in the front. So I appreciate that they, there is a drawbridge on the side, but it's different. I think this set is the superior set of the two.
By a long shot. So, if you don't mind me going next, first of all, if you go back to that dragon set, it's the dragon set. There's so much heavy lifting on everything else except that castle. It's just a tower with, it's mostly that front gate panel. That's most of it. The steps are kind of useful. It's nice to have the dark tan stairs, but like that's the only nice thing about it is the stairs. The castle, that dragon, that's like one of the few prefab ones we have. That's my favorite. There's a lot of nostalgia, but that other one is way more nostalgia because the Royal Knights Castle that came out in 1995. It's my birthday set, and I won it when my first win in the CCC, the old Colossal Castle contest. That was my first. I think it was the castle category. So I ended up winning that set, which was my birthday set, which kind of put me on the map in my Lego career a little bit, like kind of the early stages. It's a super fun build. It's got all kinds of cubby holes. It's a little wonky, but I think that gives it more character. So hands down, I love this Gothic sort of style. It's maybe a little cluttered, but ooh, that was a fun build. It's a fun set, and it's got a bunch of fun characters. So hands down, that's probably my favorite of this whole roster so far.
Invite someone else.
Oh, sorry, Caleb.
As an octagonal column enjoyer, the Royal Knights Castle is like the holy grail. It's gorgeous. The raised base plate on this one really does it for me because it is, as far as I'm aware, unique to this set.
Yes, it's the only set this is going.
It was made for this set, and you can see that, and I think it benefits so much because of that. I think the best part about 2013 Dragon Castle is the terrain. The castle looks terrible. It would be better if you just perched the dragon on the cliff there, honestly. That tower being smaller than the staircase it is just so comical. It's something. Then really, honestly, I mean, I know what they're trying to do here. They're stretching that budget as far as they can, and I'm sure it was fun to play with, but
it was fun to build and it was fun to play with, but yeah, past that, it was kind of sucked.
Yeah. Mark?
Alex?
I'm not going to disagree because the Royal Knights Castle has gargoyle dragon heads on the side.
Yeah,
that's super
come
cool.
on.
And then you also have a little sally port door over to the right, lower down there. It looks great. So there's so many cool features in this castle. It's a very unique and special castle, but yeah, the dragon by itself with the wizard. I mean, I like the princess. I even like the knight that's trying to save the princess with the catapult. But it's just, other than that, it's pretty lame. It's like that should have gone to a nice big tower to go with it. That should have been twice as expensive as it was. So yeah,
it's like it's half done. This is the set. That's the reason it's half baked. This is the reason why people don't like the castle theme.
The
like,
2013
castle. This is the set. I think the reason they don't like
it gets a little bit of underrated.
Alex, any last thoughts on this little matchup here?
My brother had this set. I remember him playing with it. Once he finished it, he had the dragon and flew it right into the tower, and the tower fell off. He's like, "Why didn't they just build just the rocks?" And I was like, "All right." So we built our own thing on top of that. So yeah, it's a very poor set. The catapult's cool. The dragon's sweet. The figures are great, but the figures are way better in the Royal Knights Castle the Royal Knights Castle. And you get, I love the little, like Mark was saying, the little shop thing at the bottom to the right of the gate. You got a skeleton in there and everything.
There's a ghost too. There's actually
yeah.
multiple skeleton. There's a skeleton that lifts up when you pull a
On the
string, which is
floor.
really cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a trap door if you pull a string on the back, and then it goes, and it pulls up right in front of them. Also,
Yeah,
Brad, you
Royal
said there was
Knights
no.
love using skeletons to scare people. There's multiple sets where they have it. It's
Also,
a
Brad,
really
you
weird
said that.
feature. Oops, sorry.
You said that there was no drawbridge. There is a drawbridge at the back. Actually, there's two.
Well, as I said,
entrances.
there's a drawbridge on the side, but not on the front, because all the
Yeah.
every castle set has that drawbridge on the front, and it just like castle's more than just a drawbridge.
yeah.
Sorry, Alex, keep going. If there are any thoughts you had.
Yeah, that's basically it. I'm voting for the Royal.
All right.
For the Royal Knights.
Chrome sword too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, shiny.
Oh!
Look at that.
And a unique
Fright
cape too.
Knights versus Knights Kingdom One King Leo's Castle.
Oh,
Alex, you want to start us off here? I'll pull up the other one here. Do you need any facts about this before we go?
Oh, I love both these sets.
Ugh.
Oh, ooh.
You got the skeleton hanging on the side.
You got the skeleton.
Yeah, I mean, my first picks for this would be these are the Bull Knights that are on that one. I think those are such a unique faction. I would say I'd put those up there with the Wolfpack, and I wish we had more of the Bull Knights. I think they look great. The stained glass window kind of design at the very top that's really cool. But the castle seems very thin. It's more like shooting for this more wide, broad kind of build where it feels like the depth is not there. Can I see the Fright Knight Castle?
Yeah.
This one for me, I remember seeing pictures of this. I don't know. I remember. I don't know where I saw it. It must have been in a magazine at a garage sale or something. And I just remember the height of it. I was like, that thing is so tall. And you have the little witch at the top. I think that's so cool. You get the dragon. And Basil's in this one as well with a chrome sword. I see, or that's the silver chrome one, right? Not the gold chrome. Yeah.
Chrome.
I'm voting for Basil all the way. This one's really cool. I think it's not only is it got like a very even, more squarish kind of build, so you have plenty of space in the inside, but it's also got that immense height. You have like 3 stories up. You have like a huge walkway, and then you have the big, massive tower. Yeah, this one's my vote for sure.
Real quick, does anyone own this set? Okay,
Seen it
because I
sealed,
do.
but I've never seen it built.
I own this set. A friend of mine got it for me as a birthday gift.
Oh, wow.
Which was awesome. And I honestly had a really cool experience with this set because the front and the back come apart, and you can actually put them next to each other if you want. That tower lifts off if you want to have that tower as a separate thing. Because like I can't display it because it's so tall with the tower on it, so I pull it off. But there's holes so that you can kind of connect it together in a few different ways. Basil the Batlord is one of my favorite Lego characters, and it's just in general across all Lego. I think he is the epitome of cool. And when it comes to Lego, anything Fright Knights will take my heart because of that. Height is really cool in this set, and there's very few, like, I love it when a castle doesn't just try to go wide, but tries to go tall. And there's a bunch of cool different rooms in this set. Overall, this castle is just fun. It's kind of like the Barad-dûr of its time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It does have that kind of facade to it.
Yeah, again, it's another castle you look at and go, this is a bad guy castle. And the Black Dragon, that's just cool. So I like this Fright Knights castle. I'm personally going to go with it. As far as King Leo's go, we've gotten so many castles in the sky. If it was to vote for one, I'd rather have the castle of Morcia over this one winning personally. I agree the Bull Knights are awesome, and the fact that we never got a base for them is a crime to Lego Castle, like, in general. But when it comes to it, I gotta go with Fright Knights.
Mind if I go next?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is really hard because these are both like equally as cool. That thing is really unique. The Fright Knights castle is extremely unique in a roster of castles that can be kind of formulaic. It's really, really tall. Go to King Leo's real quick though. I'm gonna go with King Leo's, and there's only 2 things that really bring it for me, or maybe a few things, but there's 2 specific standouts for me. I'll go with King Leo's. First of all, it's got a raised base plate. Maybe not the strongest printing, but it's got a raised base plate, which is always really fun to see in a castle.
Oh.
First castle thing I ever had was a Knights Kingdom 1 set. That was the first thing I had with King Leo. So as the same way you feel about Basil the Batlord as I feel about King Leo. Like that's my hero. That's the guy. That's the minifigure. When I think Lego minifigure, I think of him. So he was like the childhood first step in the door of Lego Castle. So if I didn't go with this, I couldn't sleep with myself. Even if it loses, which it probably will. I think the figures are really good. I actually think maybe in general a little bit better than the Fright Knights. Not by much, but just a little bit better. Though I like Basil quite a lot. It's thin, but if you know, kind of lean back a little bit, it's got a nice layout. I think it looks a little more balanced than Vladek's. Basil's Fortress. I think it's just a little bit better balanced. Because if that dragon wasn't sitting there, it would be a little lopsided, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go with King Leo's, mostly because of nostalgia and some of the old classicalness of it. But that's my hot take. Alex.
I already went.
Oh, you did? Oh, my bad. Sorry.
I led. Alex went first. So I'll go next. I'm going to go Fright Knights this one. Although King Leo's Castle has some great stuff in it. I love the tan lion heads. They're pretty neat. And then you got triple chrome swords going on, which is neat. You got another cannon that's a functional cannon that can be used to trigger mechanisms. The Skelly hanging off the side's fun. But Fright Knights is, I think, a little bit... The older you get, the more you relate to the villain arc. So,
I've noticed that we like to vote for the villains in this series.
Exactly. Well, it's like as a kid, I hated the Fright Knights. I'm like, they're bad. I don't like them. But now I'm like, yeah, you know what? They probably had a good reason.
Cool.
I feel like nowadays we just don't get as much bad guy like forts bases. They're kind of like the minuscule like just character that's in the set, the big good guy castle or big guy set or whatever.
Yeah, I hope that Lego realizes the lack of villain layers and gives us more stuff like this. But yeah, I'm gonna go Basil Batlord as well. So I think Caleb, you still have your thoughts to give. So.
Yeah, so go back to the King Leos for a second. I was trying to figure this out while you guys were talking. So you can see that banner behind the gate, right? Mm-hmm, I thought that was a Photoshop error. But if
no, that's a full-on
it's
flag.
An actual
huge
flag
piece of fabric
that covers up the back for some reason.
Yeah,
I think that's that it's like a sail on a I think that does this set a huge disservice. And it's actually pinned down on the bottom, so it makes that part of the castle inaccessible unless you remove it. I think honestly that turned me off of this set so much. Let's go with Night Lord's Castle for sure. I'm very nostalgic to Fright Knights because of the Bat Lord armor set. I believe it was called in Lego Universe. That was one of the best. Some good old, I don't know if anyone remembers that, but that was when I fell in love with the Bat
Lego
Lord.
Racers.
Yep,
yes.
That's another.
You can see the tower in the game. Very
Fright Knights has a big like Lego media presence. That's kind of awesome.
I think the reason for that, and not to get too off track here, I'll make this statement quickly, is that Fright Knights came into that era when like Lego media started becoming kind of big, and that helmet was so unique. I think it just started appearing in more stuff after that, and that's why. But
that's great.
Made for a great character, yeah.
The villain arc continues.
Oh,
come on!
No!
All right.
No!
So it is the Yellow Castle, the castle that started this off.
I got it.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. Versus Vladek's Dark Fortress.
Oh, the story of the year.
I am willing to start this off.
Are you?
Yes. Unless you guys do. Do you guys want to start it off?
Wait, no, seriously. Go ahead. Go.
The Yellow Castle is iconic. The Yellow Castle has a place in our hearts because of what it did. The Yellow Castle, they really did do some cool stuff. Like it's what started this all. It's what got. None of us had this as a kid, I'm guessing, but it started us on that journey for all Castle fans. That is the set that, you know, once you start getting into Lego Castle, the Yellow Castle becomes the set that you want to get. However, the set itself is very the knights are cool, but they peel off. It's hard to find the set in a good shape these days. It's a great set. But honestly, if I was to pick between this set and Vlad Dark Fortress, I kind of would pick Vlad Dark Fortress. Vlad Dark Fortress has the minifigures. It's that cool facade. And again, we're talking about the bad guys. Like, you got this awesome wall, and you can just have the 6 siege, because you get siege weapons for both bad and good guys. You got another skeleton hanging there, because we're going to keep bringing that up. The flags were these cool plastic hanging, like, and the Scorpion faction is just an underrated faction overall. Also, I love named characters, so Vlad, like, Basil the Batlord, if Vlad had it, like, more printing in a way, he would also stand out to me as cool. But, like, his name, Vlad, both these sets are great, and I know a lot of people hate on Knights Kingdom 2, but I think this is the set in my brain that stands out from Knights Kingdom 2, so I have to go with Vlad Dark Fortress over the Yellow Castle, and it hurts me to say that. I think the Yellow Castle should get farther, but I honestly don't. I just don't think it's as, like, it just doesn't hold. It's a classic, but it doesn't hold up, if that makes sense.
I think even if you were to modernize both of these sets, I still think Vladic's Castle would carry. Being able to have the main bad guy's fortress, all his bad guys, and have all the main character good guys in one set, I don't think it gets better than that. Like, this is like a dream set for anybody who you have everybody you want as your heroes, and they're all in the other sets. But there's multiple sets where not all of them are included, including the bad guy, where you have the bad guy, his henchmen and some skeletons, and his fortress, and then you have all these good guys. How many horses are there? It looks like 2. You got 2 catapults, 2 horses.
And what's that special color Caleb keeps bringing up with those horses?
Violet.
Yeah, I think this one just carries. I mean, the Yellow Castle's cool and all, and it's got all these great unique factions all coming together, but it's a very peaceful term. It really reminds me of the new Lion Knight's Castle. You can see they got a lot of that kind of idea from this set. It's very peaceful times. It's just a prosperous castle, and it's all pristine and everything. And it's a great castle, but I'm a sucker for the bad guys. Their castles are so much cooler. And again, you get all the good guys in the same set with the bad guys.
I feel like during this bracket, my brain has turned off of, like, collector mode and turned into what would I want to play with.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm starting to realize that's how my brain's thinking after these 2 sets.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, and this is the ultimate one.
Caleb, you want to go next? Since
this is one I never got as a kid, but wanted desperately to, face off against Morcia. And that's what I love so much about waves 1 and 2 of Knights Kingdom, because wave 1 is all, Land of Morcia stuff. You get all these expansions basically to the Castle of Morcia. And then wave 2 goes the complete opposite route, and it's just bad guy set, bad guy set, bad guy set. And they end up being so perfectly balanced. And it is such a perfect foil to Castle of Morcia. And the size of this thing, I could not believe how big it was. And that's partially due to, that's the double-edged sword, of juniorization. This set is almost 1,000 pieces, which was practically unheard of for its time in 2005. And when the pieces are absolutely massive, it can get you really far. I remember doing a breakdown of price per weight. And this set is probably 50% more value for money, even adjusted for inflation, than most sets with 1,000 pieces today, just because all the parts are massive. And that was definitely one of the coolest things about this. There's lots of fun functions too with the drawbridge. You got the hot coals. The one thing that really sucks about this one is the catapult there, or the cannon launcher, the big ballista. you have to manually fire it off by running up that gear to launch. It's not a spring-loaded shooter to fire off the competition-style shooter. It's the most bizarre thing. You definitely have to watch a video on it or a review on it.
There's a great one that this guy called CheesyStudios did.
You just have to be ready to watch an hour long. But yeah, I remember. I think it was for Bricks and Giggles. I was trying to find if did I build this wrong? What's happening? And I'm like, I saw everyone else was struggling with this thing too. That's the worst thing about this set, but everything else is cool. And there's some just great elements too. You got the dark red door up there beneath Vladix Max, which is exclusive to the set. There's 4x12 bricks in old dark red exclusive to this set. Vladix got his all-seeing orb somewhere in the interior. Those black columns you see on the far left are pretty rare. Oh, just awesome stuff. So yeah, I love this one.
You want to go next?
Yeah, it's a done deal, obviously, at this point. And if it were any other set, I'd be screaming, "Yellow Castle, guys, what are you doing now?" But I really see the appeal of Vladix Dark Fortress. It's one of the cool giant castle sets of the era. All these great figures, play features. I'm still going to go with the Yellow Castle because it is my favorite set. And this set is tied with two others for having the first minifigures ever made. So, yeah, I think it was 78, I believe, was the year this came out. So, yeah, for what it is and for how detailed it is, I mean, yes, there's stickers, but the fact that we had tons of different castle factions to start off, it's a nice little simple brick-built castle, but it's just got so much nostalgia. And the fact that it was successful and they started making more castle sets after it, this is the reason Lego Castle exists. It's part of the reason Lego still exists. So you have to think about that kind of legacy in that context. But I totally get the appeal of Vladix Dark Fortress, though. So I mean, I'm happy to say, it was a bad matchup. It's okay. We'll move on.
Oh yeah, we definitely not hating on this one. This is a wonderful set.
I'm not hating on Vladix Dark Fortress either. It's great. So, yeah.
Before we move on, I'll give my 2 cents, even though the vote's over at this point. If you look behind me, there's a poster, and there's a certain castle on it, and it's the yellow one. That's not Vladix Dark Fortress. Now, obviously, from a play features as a kiddo, I saw both of those sets at the same time. There was a history Lego book that was in it. I drooled over that thing. It looked so unbelievably cool next to all the pirate ships and everything. That one stood out. And obviously, a good friend of ours had Vladix Dark Fortress, and we got to play with it for hours. It was extremely fun. So both are nostalgic, but this, I think they did so much. Yes, it is very old. I think the best way to describe it is it's not outdated, but it's very, very old, obviously. But considering this is 78 and what they were able to accomplish with so little, not to mention a great roster of minifigs, I think I prefer these minifigs, if you can get them in good shape. I think I prefer these colorful minifigs compared to the colorful minifigs of the new one. Now, I like this Gen 2 versus Gen 1. I like the dark green and dark tan. I think it's a slight improvement. And don't get me wrong, like when this set came out, it wowed me. But I'm sorry, it's just too special. It's just too interesting. It's one of a kind. They'll never do it again, and they don't have to because everyone, it's got that iconicness. So I couldn't possibly, as much as I love Vladix Dark Fortress, and I truly do, I've been roasting Knights Kingdom 2 quite a bit. But that was the one that really like, oh, this is serious. This is really cool. And I remember the comic was really fun. I read that to death. I thought the comic was great. So, sorry, it's the yellow castle. It's the golden castle. So, that's this.
Well, I think we got to talk about the yellow castle, and it definitely is a good set. Guys, real quick, thank you so much for the donation. Great. Thank you guys so much to everyone who's been appreciating the stream so far. We've had over 100 people at multiple times. If you're first time watching one of my videos, please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that like button because we're not done yet. This is the crazy thing. I'm sorry, guys. This stream keeps going and going. I'm going to try to speed us up here a little bit, though.
We'll roll it. We'll roll it. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
nostalgic.
Vladix Dark Fortress 1. So, next up is Witch's Magic Manor versus the Black Knight's Castle. I'm going to really take this one because I'm going to try to go as quickly as possible. So, this set is what I think every raised base plate set should be. like for this style of raised base play. They
good.
did this set right in so many ways. I think Black Knights is overrated, but again, this set is just so done well, and I definitely think this set has what it takes to go to the end. However, Witch's Magic Manor is a hot piece of garbage that I think
That's the worst.
it really is.
like
I
that.
really wanted to try to force this set to go farther because
It's got a flying
kids think they
machine.
go- Exactly. There's so much cool stuff, but I'm going to try to make this conversation short since this is just like a troll conversation at this point. This set has it, and I think this is one of the best castles Lego's ever done. And I know there's a reason why everyone loves it, and that's because there's a Wolfpack figure in it. But, like, it's a great set. So that's my 2 cents.
Great set.
Go ahead, bro.
I'll go first. I actually parted this one together from pieces that we had in our collection in order to make this happen. I needed to buy a base plate, of course, but this is a phenomenal set. It is the pinnacle of classic castle. It is the last great set from 90s, 80s, that legacy. And once that ended, you had Knights Kingdom 1 and stuff like that appear shortly thereafter. So this is like the last breath of that golden era. So it's the pinnacle. It's great. I think this is one of the best castles Legos ever made. The white plumes alone make this a special thing for minifigures too. So obviously that's my choice.
And for a second there, I forgot what it was up against after you said it. It didn't even get on my radar. This is the worst Fright Night sets. There are way better ones than this.
Yeah.
This is the worst one. But it doesn't matter because even if you put it up against some of the best ones here, this is my favorite black and light gray combination on this one. This is my favorite. There's some good ones, but this is the best one in my opinion. Best color presentation. It has the most features. The interior is not bare bones. There's a well, there's a dungeon, there's a banquet hall. There's a bunch of other fun things in here. The army building is insane. And it's got one of the most expensive minifigures from Castle, period. It's like $200 for that one white plume guy there. So yeah, this one stood the test of time. It's a classic. It's insane. Yes, for sure.
Any of you other people want to make any quick comments about this matchup?
I think we're all going to agree.
All right.
Yeah.
Move forward. Move
Yeah, I
forward.
just want to say that the rock. The rock game is brilliant.
That's the funny part. That's kind of funny.
Oh, good. That's
terrible,
undeniably clever. It looks really stupid, but
Yeah.
very fun. Very
All
fun.
right. I'm gonna move us along here. All right, I'm very excited for this next matchup because I feel like it's two actually pretty decent sets up against each other. So we have the Dragon Knights Tower. We have the Dragon Knights Tower, which I think honestly it gets a lot of hate, but it's a like what the other Dragon Knight Tower, like this is so much better than what that other Dragon Tower was. And then the Dwarves Mine, but you all know me. Right here, this is my favorite faction, and I'm gonna say something very controversial. This set is so much better though. Like controversial because I love that Feather faction so much. This set is, we're talking about the trolls and how their set is like so unique. This set is a mine with a fortress, with a castle, with a blacksmith all built into one. It's got the mine carts. There's no other castle set like this. There's no other fortress Lego has done like this. This set is just so good, and I have owned them both. This set is one of the sets that got me into Lego Castle. My best friend owned this set growing up, and I just remember looking at it, and it was just so cool. But I'm going to stop talking and move it on to Caleb.
The mine carts is one of like my all-time favorite Lego builds ever. They're genius using those larger 2 brick tall doors for the sides there, and they can still like rock back and forth. This set is just a ton of fun to play with, moving the crystals and the metals throughout the thing. You can really just, and it wasn't that big of a set either. This is probably $50 back in 2009, 2000. And it's on there somewhere. Regardless, I feel like this
$60.
$60.
That's
okay.
not bad.
No.
It packs a lot of bang for your buck. Yeah, and I had the Kingdoms Tower too, but it's very one note compared to the dwarves. So Dwarves it is. Go ahead, Alex.
I think I'm going to agree. Dwarves. I honestly forgot what they were going against because it was minuscule. Yeah,
There you go.
it's just I don't know. I think the coolest thing in this one is the portcullis. That's for me. That's all. That's the cool part of this. And I mean, it's got cool height. It's got the little fire, little bin up at the top, and I don't know. Dwarves are cooler though, and you get an big old troll. That's the cake on top.
Steven?
So yeah, it's obvious. This troll set, you guys have already said it. It's super unique. It's super fun. What did I say? I'm sorry. The dwarf set is insane. The figures are all amazing. The helmet is just one of the best castle helmets. Period. I love the winged ones. It's just so cool. The dragon tower, I'm sorry, it looks completely empty. It's just the tower. Where's the dragon? I've said it before. Where is the dragon? They didn't even have a brick built.
That faction was so cool it didn't need a dragon.
But it was the motif. It only has two babies at the front. I mean, it's just not enough. I love the Kingdoms line and including the dragons. But this is the weakest set in my opinion from the lineup. The dwarves is one of the strongest sets from the lineup. And there's a reason it's so iconic. I do wish the catapult was maybe a little bit more decorative over on that side. It looks maybe a little empty, but that's just a nitpick. It's just insane. It's so smart. It's got great play features. What else do you need?
Dwarves, but I do like the color scheme of the dragon tower.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah. All right, moving dwarves along. All right, Skeleton Tower versus the original Lion Knights Castle. So let me quickly pop those up here. Anyone feels... Alex, you haven't gotten to go first in a little bit. I'll let you go first on this one.
I'll be quick. This one's the cooler one. It's unique. It's got the same aesthetic as the Trolls Castle did. It's just... What's cooler than a giant skull with its jaw opening and shutting, and you get a wizard, you get a bunch of skeletons, you get a dragon, and you get a knight. And no, he doesn't have a chrome sword. Never mind. Anyways, he does? Oh,
yeah, he does. Chrome sword.
Yeah, that's that makes it even better. But yeah, this one's just cool. A lot of cool pieces. I always love the little lightning pieces. They have on both sides. I think those are cool. A nice, cool piece. Yeah, this is my pick. Lion Knights Castle is cool and all, but it's just a I don't know. It's almost too generic. I mean, it's great and it get a ton of figures, but I love the fantasy factions, the skeletons, the trolls. It's just we don't have that, and I genuinely think it's just because we haven't had it since this that we want it so bad now, and that's playing a factor. But I'm not gonna complain. I'm still voting for it.
Yeah. Caleb?
Yep, fantasy era. This is so cool. I feel like this set, even more so than some of the other fantasy era sets that we've looked at today, really transports me back because this one was really fun to play with. Really, really fun design with that jaw bridge, I guess you could say.
Jaw bridge.
And I love the electricity pieces that you got going on in there too. Oh yeah, that's just I want to go and rebuild this now all of a sudden. And as for Lion Knights, it's a tried and true format. It works really well, but there's nothing about this one that really stands out. I feel like the minifigures are pretty plain. It's just this would be a fun set to have, but I don't think this is one I would ever go out of my way to acquire either. I feel that, especially for the era, there's a lot better offerings.
These are the Crusader torsos, aren't they?
Yep.
Those are
I forgot.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, I forgot about those. Those are cool, and I wish Lego would bring those back, but I doubt they would. But
we got the shield now, but
that's true.
Yeah.
I'll quickly take this. I own this set. I don't think this set is... I think it's the worst out of the 4 fantasy era castle sets. I think it's cool, but I've built in all 4. I enjoyed this one the least out of all 4 personally. I think it is really cool though, and it's really unique, and it's got all the stuff that we want out of something cool like this. I'm gonna the other fantasy era castle did it so much better, of that square design with stuff. This is a classic. This is good. And yeah, someone said it's ultra classic versus like ultra abstract.
Different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with ultra abstract on this. If I was a kid, I'm gonna go with this.
Yeah.
If I was a kid, technically the other one might stand out to me, but also Big Dragon fully kitted out, and you can't go wrong with this set.
I'll try and be quick. I'll go with Fantasy Era, and there's a reason why. For the nostalgia side of things, the Falcon Fortress is more nostalgic for me.
The Lion Knight.
My bad. The Black Falcon Fortress is more nostalgic than the Lion Knight one.
Oh,
yeah, that's more nostalgic because the Lion Knight one was cool, but we had that, and that took up a lot of my
Black Falcons you prefer over Lion Knights?
I would say so, yes, but not by much. So I think the Lion Knights would beat out a lot of the ones we've looked at. I think it would beat out quite a few of them, but I don't think it's enough to beat the Fantasy Era, the Skeleton one, because the Skeleton one is really unique. They've done skulls before, but that one has a lot of character. I have actually built that one a while ago, and I was pleasantly surprised by how fun it was to build. I was surprised, Brad. You don't like building it, so I like this one. So it's very fun. It's larger than it looks. It looks tiny in that picture, but it's quite large. And you know what? It's got great figures in the dragon. So it's just the heavy metal electric guitar versus the classical guitar. I'm gonna go with the electric guitar this time. So.
Acoustic guitar.
What did I say? Classical?
No, I just think it's even more than just. Yeah,
well, you know what I mean.
Anyway,
So you got me second guessing myself.
So it boils down to what we talked about earlier. Which one would you rather have in your hands? I think I'd prefer to have the Fantasy Era one in my hands at this moment. At the same time, you got to respect the classics. That's a great Lion Knight Castle. But Fantasy Era wins it for me. That one moves on. So.
All right. So, Ninja versus Vikings. Anyone for real particularly want to take this one?
I'll lead. I'm pretty confident in this.
Okay.
I'm going Ninja, mostly just because I think the Fortress is there's so much more detail, so much more elevation. I mean, this one's massive, but it's just a circle of wood with a dragon and a couple guys, where I like the creativity you can have with the feudal Japan vibe. You have a raised base plate. You have.
It's not a raised base plate. That's all brick built. I mean, that's.
Oh, that's right.
Parts.
That's right. I
panel.
forgot. It looks so much like it though, but again, this one's just got so much. I don't know. I've always been a sucker for Japan and feudal Japan and the ninjas and the samurais. I think they're just so unique. Yeah. The Vikings are cool. I've never been terribly big. I think the coolest thing about the Viking sets were the long boats, the long ships. Other than that, I think the architecture of the feudal Japan kind of vibe it carries this. The height, the amount of. I mean, you're getting a little bit more figures, but you have a larger variety in figures. Samurai, ninja, and then you even have. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a bandit. Yeah, a bandit. Yep. And then you get your little flying machine. Yeah, I'm voting Ninja on this one.
I'm going to go next because we were looking at both these sets and we made great arguments for both of them. But can I just say, after talking about both these sets, when we were talking about this set, the instant afterwards, I was like, I want to look that up on Bricklink and buy it at some point.
Oh!
Literally, it made me, us talking about it made me go, that's such a cool set. Like, why have I never considered buying this set before? I have considered buying this one. It is really cool. They did do a great job with it, and it fits the era so well. But honestly, it's just the fact that I wanted to go buy this one that makes me just go, the flying machine, the figures, feudal Japan has never been, I love Vikings a lot, but I gotta go with this. I gotta go with Ninja. Mark.
So this is a really good comparison, good matchup. I think the Ninja set here is the superior design, and it has some better pieces, but I want the Vikings one more because I want to collect all of them, even if it has its flaws. I think it's got some really crazy cool factor, So I would prefer the Viking one for my preference, my nostalgia, but I can see the desire for the Ninja set because it's so good. So I'm going Vikings, but I think Ninja's got this.
Caleb?
Yeah, for me it's Ninja. I'll just keep it short and sweet. Yep. I definitely need to get my hands on that at some point too.
We're all
Suddenly,
reminded
all
how
of
we
them are
all
gonna
need
start disappearing off of Bricklink.
Yeah.
Next stream, all like, "Hey guys, look what I got!" Like,
We're pushing up the markets for these things by
Yeah.
accident. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Ninja too. I think it looks a little nicer. Like if I just had to boil it down, I've been wordy, but I have to boil it down. I think it looks nicer. I think the presentation's a little better. The color scheme's amazing.
Also,
go
Can
ahead.
I just point out this? So we talked about the skeleton hanging there. So he has a red bandana, which means he's part of the bandit group, which means that this is a figure that they hung. They hung this guy and left his body there rotting. Can we just point out how crazy that is for a Lego set? And
Lego
how that
ones
makes
all
the
the time,
set
apparently.
elevated in my mind? Sorry, Steven, not to cut you off, but
Oh, that just adds to the story and character. I do love the Viking set deeply, though. I love the Vikings so much. But the Ninja, they're both off the beaten path too. They're both off the beaten path. They're both niche. But yeah, I gotta go with the Ninja. I think it just looks a little sharper. So both of them are nostalgic enough. So yeah, let's throw the Ninja in there. It looks great.
all right, Ninja's gonna win. So Ninja won, and I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, the next matchup is kind of crazy. Royal Knights versus Fright Knights. I'm pretty sure this has been played out in Castle lore somewhere.
It is. It's a canon event. It is. It's canon.
Yeah. So we've already talked about this Fright Night set. I own both these. Oh gosh. You know who didn't really get a talk? Caleb, you go first. You haven't gotten to talk a little bit.
Okay, yeah, this is. I love where the Night Lord's castle is coming from. I love how wacky and zany it is, and that background art is gorgeous. But I think Royal Knights is just such, again, it makes such great use of the raised base plates, which is just so much fun. Lots of cool prints in here, great figures. I really love this set. There's some really great parts, and the layout is so unique too. It just feels so much more complete, I guess. I guess to use a word that we used earlier, is just more well realized. Just the perfect combination of that base plate and the castle. So yeah, there's just a lot of good stuff going on in here. Gotta go with Royal Knights. Steven, how about you go next?
Yeah.
I like this one better than King Leo's Castle, and I went with King Leo's Castle, so absolutely I'm going with this one. This is probably my favorite out of the whole lot that we've talked about.
Royal Knights.
This Royal Knights one here. Vlad.
Not Black. Basil.
Sorry. Okay, let me keep up. Hang on 1 second. Okay. Basil's is definitely super, super fun. It's just that gothic madness. But I do enjoy the architecture a lot, quite a bit more on the Royal Knights. I think there's a lot more fun details rather than big presentation. It's more about the smaller stuff, like the small room to the side with those little doors where the ghost usually is kept, and the dungeon and the trapdoors. And obviously the modularity is cool, but nah, this thing really takes the cake. It's my favorite style of architecture is that more ornate castle-y look that you see in later German ones. So yeah, that fits the bill.
Mind if I go next? 'Cause I own both of these. I love the Royal Knights set, and they did do a great job on it, but I'm going to go with Fright Knights. I got to go with my villain arc here, and honestly, we got 2 for Royal. I might as well vote
Keep
Fright
it interesting.
Basil the Batlord and Will the Witch stand out in my mind way more than King Richard, which always makes me go Fright Knights. I love the tower design. It's like an evil villain tower, which is like we've gotten some sort of towers, but I think out of all the villain towers, this one is the best villain tower. And I know we're looking at, I don't know, I like this set. It's fun. Very fond memory of it. And it's funny because I got both these sets from the same person. And I know he's going to watch the stream later, but and he loves the set. They're both great. this set's great, but I'm going to go with Fright Knights on this one.
Okay, Alex, I'm going to cut you off. I'm also
No
going
worries.
Fright Knights. I'm going Fright Knights.
Oh, you're putting all this on
I'm gonna give
Alex's
Alex
shoulder.
the
All right, I dig it.
All right, wait, Mark. Any
Right.
any points you want to make quickly?
Yeah, just really quick. The Royal Knights is awesome. I like the Fright Knights more because you got that dragon. Willa's great. You got Basil. There's some really cool characters. As a kid, I probably would have preferred Goody Two Shoes, but now I'm like, those characters are more fun. So I'm leaning towards that. I also like the fact that there's great building techniques in both because you got those inverted half arches in red making a cool roof piece. So I think I'm leaning towards the character of the evil guys here as I get older. But
Look at the difference in the plate, though. The plate on that one versus the plate on the other.
I know,
Come on.
I know they're
Come
both
on.
great. This is really flip a coin, but I'm gonna give that coin flip to Alex. So what do you think?
I'm torn. I think I love the largeness of without having the raised base plate that the Fright Knight Castle has, but it has a little bit more lackluster kind of walls and such where like Cheesy and Steven were saying, the Royal Knight's Castle just it feels more finished, more complete, more pristine. You get a lot more flags and shields and oh man, this one's a really hard one. They're both, I mean, I would put these up probably to some of my favorites, other than like the black. I love the Black Knight Castles, just the black look, and this has that too. But man, this one's a really hard one.
This is a really close one.
I love the Fright Knight faction much more than the Royal Knights. But I think this castle is. I have to judge it on the castle, and I think this castle is better.
I got you.
That's
By
fair.
just a hair.
Steven will be happy.
I figured we need to not have a landslide for one. All right, I love it. Royal Knights Castle moves on. Oh, this is not even a.
Oh. Ooh.
Fladex versus Black Knights.
Oh no.
All right. Anyone particularly want to start this? I'm
Okay.
thinking here.
I'll go first really quick if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I love Vladek's Dark Fortress. It's high on my list of things I want to collect sooner rather than later. But I went out of my way to get the Knights Castle because it's so iconic, so cool. The white plumes, the horse barding. There's some really special pieces that are set exclusive. So great raised base plate. Great, probably the best integration of a raised base plate into a castle, probably ever. Because look how it's like the pieces are literally molding around it and making it look seamless. So it's like I got to go for that. I love Vladek. I love that whole Knights Game too, but I'm voting for that early on. Any other burning thoughts from you guys?
I'm gonna take this.
Yeah.
Real quick, take this. When we started this stream, I said we could play as dirty as we wanted. We could make the arguments that we wanted. Whatever we wanted to do to make the castle. I am so sick of the Black Knights getting all the love that they get. They're an overrated faction that doesn't deserve the love. The white dragon plumes is overrated. It is literally white dragon plumes, and there's so much better detailed minifigures out there. The castle is really cool, and they did do a great... Okay, guys, for the record, before I start getting all this hate, we're having fun here. We're having a blast. I want to make this not just landslide after landslide, and this set, everyone always says it's one of the best castle sets, but I think it's a really good set, and I agree they used the raised base plate well. And, you know, it's cool with the bardings and stuff. But honestly, if I had to pick between these two right now, I'm going with Vladek's Dark Fortress because you know what? It's got that playability. It's got that villain aesthetic. I'm going villain era this year. All right. I am loving this. I don't know why, but this set, like out of these two right now, this is definitely a set that I'm trying to go with and I'm trying to get my hands on. And I've had opportunities and I keep missing out on it. So, which is kind of been upsetting. But I'm going to go with Vladek's Dark Fortress because you know what? I'm so sick of Black Knights being so overhyped and that they're just... The white plumes is expensive and they shouldn't be. All right. I'm going with this.
Hot take.
So it's 1-1.
I'll jump in.
Caleb.
Sorry.
Alex, go ahead. Alex,
All
go.
right. I think taking the figures up, because that's what this is, castle.
Mhm.
The Black Knight's castle is superior. It's, I don't know, this is significantly older than Vlad's, and this one still, I would want to buy this. I love the black with the little bit of light gray contrast. It's great. The little yellow printed house on the side, that's really cool, and they tried doing that with the 3-in-1 Black Falcon castle. I don't think it worked as good as it did here. You get a ton of figures in this, and yeah, the figures are cool to have, but I don't think the figures are what carry. I think they lack. They're basically just like an off-brand of the dragon look. I feel like it's kind of like a shared kind of outfit look and shields. I mean, they're just different colors. But I mean, Vlad's cool, but I think the reason why I would want Vlad's is for the figures. It's a great figure lineup. You have all the bad guys, the big bad guy, and then you got all the good guys fighting. And that's a great set. However, the castle itself, I don't think compares to the Black Knight castle. So I'm going Black Knights on this.
2 for Black Knights, 1 for Vladix. Caleb, you want to go next?
Yeah, this is so hard. This is so hard. Maybe I don't want to go next.
I'm gonna play dirty for a second. The poll says 85% Black Knights. So
I know.
Wow.
That's why I wanted to go against it.
Wow. So just you'll make the commenters a little upset if you say
Wow.
And honestly, I am leaning towards Black Knights.
Okay.
It's a really beautiful castle. And I'm a huge Knights Kingdom apologist. I don't think there's anyone here who doesn't know that. But again, it was like we said earlier. This is just such a great integration of that raised base plate. This is the ramped raised base plate too that we saw not so well used with King's Mountain Fortress. And this is what King's Mountain Fortress could have or should have been. So I think I got to go with this one.
Steven, any last remarks before we quickly move on here?
I think the poll says it all. No, I agree. The black, is it Black Monarch? No,
Black Knights.
Black Knights. It's not the most elaborate theme, like the shields, whatever minifigs. I do like these comparisons. I like the minifigures in this set, but you're right. There's some more interesting ones. Maybe it's not the most interesting in depth.
The figures are a little plain as far as
Maybe a little bit compared to like some of the more elaborate ones later on. But I think Vladix is really cool. But when you go to the nuts and bolts, this thing beats it pretty quickly. I think it's just a better structure. It's got better parts that you could still use today. A lot of the ones from Vladix Fort you probably wouldn't use in most of your mocks. That's another thing, the longevity. It does look cool, don't get me wrong, but this is the king of the classic era, and the classic era is called the Golden Age for a reason. So I think that this one it's the best of a great era versus the best of a terrible era, and I would say that this is the best of. I just saying, Galador was around. Anyway,
Real quick,
Yeah.
because that's all. Sorry,
we're going
yeah.
We're going this one here.
I do want to say this isn't a fantastic set, and I do think this is the best castle from original Classic Castle. Like this trumps every Lego. The way it uses the raised base plate is so cool. So I gotta love that. But I am gonna move this forward. I just didn't want it to win on a landslide.
If Vladix is going to be taken out by anything, it's taken out by this.
I agree.
Worthy.
Okay, so the next one is kind of makes sense. This is another fantasy. I don't know how we got two fantasy matchups. I'm gonna go first here. Apology. I have both these sets, and I just have a lot of thoughts because of that. I think out of these two sets, if I was to get one, this is cool, but dude, this set made me fall in love with Fantasy Era. It has everything you want. It's got dwarfs, it's got orcs, it's got a pull wheel that pulls something up. Like if you want a Dwarf Mine they packed everything in from a Dwarf Mine into this one set. And honestly, in a landslide, I'd rather buy so many of these than Skeleton Tower. So that's like, it's such a cool set. And honestly, I think this is a set that's worthy to get to like the final four.
Okay, quickly. I'm going to, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to pick the Dwarves as well. I think that the Fantasy Era Wizards Tower is actually a better castle. But this is the set that I would want to buy now, the Dwarves Mine, because it's got so many great figures. The trolls and orcs are great too. So when you get a little bit past the initial impression, I think the Dwarves have a lot more fun play features going on, even as crazy cool as this set is. So I'm going to go Dwarves as well, but it's so close.
Oh, who wants to go next?
Dwarves.
Dwarves. Okay, Dwarves. It's what do you think, Steven?
If the dwarves would have a castle, it would look like that. And I think it's just a little. It's got a cool big character, just like the dragon. I think the trolls and the trolls and the dragons are almost equal. They're very close as far as the character himself.
Big monster.
Yeah, big monster is just as fun. So I'm gonna have to. I really like that skeleton one, but this one's just a little bit better. You know, it's bigger. It's got more going on. There's more play features. You know, I think it's just a little bit better.
Can I just say I'd rather have a troll than a dragon? I think trolls are cool just because you can use them in mock so much better and they don't take up as much room, but you still get this powerhouse that you put into a mock.
True.
So,
I think I'm just gonna go against the grain. I know it doesn't matter, but I like this set. It's got everything you could want. You got the princess, you got the knight, you got skeletons, you got a wizard, you got a dragon, you got a giant skeleton fortress. This would be my set. Taking in consideration that the other side of this chart we have dwarves already, this would be what I would want, not the another dwarf, or not another orc, or not orc. Well, the you know what I'm saying.
all right, dwarfs. Next up,
choices.
Royal Knights versus Ninja.
Oh, snap.
Who hasn't got to talk a lot lately? Caleb.
Oh man, this is a tough one for sure. Because I really. All right, you know what? We just got to make some decisions. Octagonal Columns is gonna win the day. So Royal Knights. But I do love that Ninja Flying Fortress. It's a great set. I'm gonna be that shows up at Bricks and Minifigs a lot for some reason, so I gotta keep an eye out next time I'm there.
We need to bring awareness to that set. That's what we need to do.
No, we don't, because after we buy it.
Yeah, nobody gets it. It's
nobody
awful.
buy it until we all
Worst
get it.
set ever. Worst one they ever made.
It'll be really funny, I will say this, if after the stream is done, there's suddenly like the set that we say is the winner just suddenly gets all bought up off Bricklink, and then like it's just hard to find in general.
I hope not.
All right, I'll go next. Flying Fortress for me. I own Royal Knights. I don't know. This one just has so much more mystery and stuff to it, and I really love it. It's really speaking to me right now, and I do not understand why.
He's riding the nostalgia train.
I don't. You know, it's not even nostalgia. It's just
That's
what
true.
it's speaking to me. It's just. I'm going with Ninja.
Steven, I better know what you think.
Too many stars aligned for me with that Royal Castle. That's probably my favorite one. I've said it. I keep talking good about it, but yeah, I really love that Ninja one. And man, it doesn't get nearly the love it deserves, in my opinion. But the Royal Knights one is just way too special, and I think it's a really good set on its own. So we're going Royal Knights.
Alex, what do you think?
I'm really torn. I really like the samurais and the ninjas. It's just a very unique castle. Like all these other castles on this list they all share something in common, other than like the troll castle and such. But I think I'm gonna have to agree with Steven on this. I think the Royal Knights castle just carries, and like Caleb was saying, it's just a very, very pleasing to look at. It's just everything you would want out of a castle. It's not like boxy. not too boxy. It's very octangle. Just looks good.
I want to rebuild it again.
Well, final thoughts. This is like flip a coin 50-50 for me, but I think I would just go for the Flying Fortress as well. It's really I missed out on a lot of ninja sets. I love them, so I'd want to get that one just tiniest bit more, 1% more. But a great, very tough decision. So.
That's a good matchup there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Royal Knights, that's all right.
Yep. I think the poll will be happy about that too.
Mine versus Black Knights.
Oh no! This is hard.
Mark, you were forced to go last, so I'm going to let you go first this time. Anyone else want to go first?
Let me see. I'll go.
Okay.
It's got to be Black Knights again for me, but this is so bad. This is so close.
This is cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Knights Castle as well because I think it's just a bigger, grander castle. The Dwarves Mine is such a beautiful, awesome set. I wish I had it, but I think this in this case I'm leaning into what is a castle, and this is an awesome medieval scene. So I'm leaning more towards the Black Knights. In this case, I would not be surprised if Dwarves wins this though. So, and I wouldn't be that upset either. So.
I'll go next. Just go on the opposite. Dwarves, they have my heart. They'll always have my heart.
I feel it. I feel it.
Same love that you have. Like Black Knights is an amazing castle. They really did do a fantastic job. It is the epitome of that classic castle era. But dude, every time I look at this dwarf set, I'm like, I want to pull that out. I want to play with it. I want to just make a dwarf mine. So I'm going with that.
Diggy hole.
Yes. Look, digging a hole, digging in the ground, it just appeals to men. All right, we don't know what it is.
Get a shovel, guys. Let's go outside.
What do we do on the beach? We dig a hole. Yeah.
Caleb?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think the minifigures, the playability, even just some of the pieces make the Dwarves Mine the superior set to me. It's one much like what we talked about earlier with the
Trolls?
the Wolfpack.
Oh, yeah.
It's a set that inspires imagination.
Yeah.
This would be a fun one to expand or reimagine with more elaborate details. But I mean, as far as details, every bit of this set is, packed. There's so much to do, so much weapons. You see all the stuff in the armory there, all the crystals and things. This is like the perfect Lego play set as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't say it's the perfect castle. I'm going to vote for it anyway, which maybe goes against them. But you said we could argue for anything we want for any reason we want. So I'm gonna choose this one. Yeah, it is just a great Lego set.
That's a good point. The mine has chicken. It's a very solid. Alex.
I know
Steven.
I'm sorry.
Alex,
I blurted mine out.
Final decision because I think you're in the
I
middle
blurted
ground.
mine out, but
groups.
I said I'm sorry. I said Black Knights. Only because the Dwarves Mine is you kind of gave it away a little bit there, Caleb. You're right. That is basically a near perfect Lego set. But is it a perfect castle set? Like, maybe not quite. Like, it's not quite the theme because I think not to bring in a totally other bracket, but I think the Troll Castle is a better castle than this Dwarf Castle.
It's a castle.
It is a castle. And this is the best castle of the best era. So, purely on the prompt, I'm going with the Black Knights exclusively. That being if they're both sitting next to me, I don't know which one I'd want to take home with me. I don't really know. Like, they're both amazing. So
that's when you just drop your entire credit card on the table and just grab them.
Yeah, bam, 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 bam.
Like savings, yeah,
exactly. So we're going with the Black Knights. So Alex, sorry to cut in, but on to you.
Oh, you're good. So what's the score on that?
2-2.
Oh, it is 2-2.
All you.
Erickson brothers versus me and Caleb.
I think I'm going with the bros. I think the Black Knight's castle is better. Knowing that the Orc castle is on the other side that did win, that also supports allowing another orc to go on. I mean, it's not orc, but with the dwarves, but with an orc in it.
That theme, yeah.
He wants the orc.
Yeah, the fantasy era. And also, I'm slightly upset that the skeleton one or the skull one didn't go. So if I couldn't have that, it would definitely be the Black Knight's castle. Not for the figures, but just for the castle itself. I think the castle is beautiful.
Which is the prompt.
Hey, Alex. This
Yes.
is the last time I'm going to have you on my stream now. Oh no, it's very valid points. It's very valid points. But yeah, so Black Knights moves on. We're getting there, guys.
Oh,
By the way, we got to do one more vote before we do this one.
Okay.
So we had those two, which if you missed it,
It's
there's
Duplo
two
time.
castle sets that weren't shown because bracket got funkily messed up. So the first castle set, we're going to start with this one, is this little Black Falcon castle. It was the first Black Falcon castle ever made. It's great. It's a kind of...
It's red.
Yeah. And then we got this beast. And this beast just does it all for me. I'm already voting this set, no question down. I think this is top 4 best. I don't care it's Duplo. This set is sick.
Good.
This set is
How
everything.
big is this thing? This
It's
looks
meters. It's measured in meters.
actual.
Let me
meters.
quickly pull up.
It has
So
a
this-
dragon.
yeah. This is everything the Duplo Castle should be.
Oh my goodness. On him. It's got a big treasure chest.
Yeah.
It's got a red treasure
Dude,
chest.
the Gold Knight dual wielding swords.
You know it's all printed. You know it's all printed.
All printed.
Oh,
Dimensions.
golly.
57 by 48 by 25. So that's 22 inches by 18 by 10.
It's like double the size of this Black Knight.
What does one of these say retail at this very moment?
I'm
Okay,
on Bricklink right now. It's you're looking at an incomplete
Wait.
$200.
That's all?
Wow.
Ooh.
For-
But you have
English-
to
No,
ship
that's
it.
very high. That's very
You-
high. Don't buy it.
You have to ship it from abroad. There, on Bricklink, there's none in the States. Complete without bite on it, without pieces bitten, $300 from France. And
Look
yeah,
at the arches under the bridge.
Yeah.
see what eBay's got this for. It's
That's what I'm on right now.
Gate, guys, look at the metal gate. That light bluish gray thing, whatever. Like, what is that a print or is that an actual gate?
Dang.
The dark
That's a
print
gate.
color.
That's a gate.
eBay's got it in box, brand new, $1,200.
Oh,
Guys, someone send that
that's
to
the
me.
yellow
I'm buying
castle.
it. I'm buying it.
Oh man,
They're so hard
we
to
can't
find.
have it. He's got double swords. That guy has dual wielding swords on the
Brad
top
mentioned
tower.
that.
Oh, sorry, Brad, you mentioned that already.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Well,
love Black Falcons. I'll start. I love Black Falcons, but I like that Black Falcon Fortress better than that one. I like that little one. It's super cute and nice, but holy cow, we're going heavy metal today with the most hardcore Lego theme ever from Duplo.
Can we
This
just
is
all
the
agree
hardest
this
Duplo
wins?
set
Yeah.
ever.
I mean, is this the biggest Duplo set of all time? 380 Duplo pieces is
a lot for
insane.
Those
Who
little,
wants it?
those
Some
little
lucky kid
archer window, the curved element, those are on eBay. There's multiple people in France, or there's multiple listings in France. They want $10 a pop. That's
What did we get into,
crazy.
guys?
Guys,
I love that big square, or like the I guess the squarish tower in the back. I feel like you could recorporate that into actual Lego builds. Pretty simple. And that would be a huge
Look at the
facade.
winch. Look at the winch. What could you
Yeah.
do with that?
can I just say, if this was on shelves right now, I'd buy 5.
Whoa! I'd buy one.
I'll take one.
Okay, maybe not, but legitimately, I would make sure that my kids have a sealed copy. Like,
There's
That
another
is-
gate to the side, like it's almost
Yeah.
like the one where in Helm's Deep where they blew up the hole. That's like what.
Oh
it is.
yeah.
Look at the
all
ladder.
right,
too.
I say this moves
Yeah.
on. Like, I just,
Oh yeah.
Guys, look at the size of the barrel too.
Insane.
There's a giant crossbow too. That one guy in the right in the
Yeah.
middle.
Can you imagine if a dwarf was, a troll was carrying that?
Yeah,
That'd be pretty
sweet.
sick. All right, guys.
We're such nerds. It's awesome though.
We're gonna go against this hard matchup, and then we're gonna go against a harder matchup. So this Black Knights versus Royal Knights. Black Knights. It's got it for me. I think it's out of the two, I'd rather buy this one. I think it just does the base plate so well, and I know I've been giving it so much crap, but it is a fantastic set. The cloth cape and cloth parts are the only thing that makes this one want me to go up, but I'm gonna go Black Knights.
Man, I can't be mad about either of these winning, but I think I'm gonna go with Royal Knights because octagonal columns.
He's loyal.
Loyal to the Royals.
Hail to the king!
Hey,
Who's going next?
Alex.
do it.
I think this one has the figures are better in this. The castle's brighter, but the castle I think this one's probably bigger, I would guess, than the
Yes,
Black
a little
Knights.
bit,
It
yeah,
looks
it's a little
it looks
bigger.
like it's got a whole nother story above it, which does intrigue me. And it's even the black color scheme that I seem to be interested in lately. But I don't know. The Black Knights just looks this picture alone just makes me want to buy this set.
Yeah.
I'd stare at it for a while. So I think I'm gonna go Black Knights just for that. The front facade of this castle is, I mean, you can't even see part of it because it's covered by the knights or the drawbridge. It's off to the side, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go Black Knights on this one.
Oof. What do you think, Steven?
What's this tally?
1 Royal, 2 Black Knights.
Oh. Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
I want you to go first.
Okay. They're not. They're similar and so different. Okay, so I think architecturally, if you're talking about classic castle, I think that the Black Knights is slightly better designed. I think some of the Royal Knights is a little quirky, but I think the quirkiness is what does it for me. I think I like that slightly fantasy-ness. It has a lot of the really, really good stuff in the Black Knights castle is still in the Royal Knights, and they weren't very far apart.
4 years.
I think the Black Knights is a better castle, but I like this one better. I like this one, the Royal Knights, better. I think the Black Knights is the better castle, which I don't know if that even makes any sense, but I like that one better. I don't know why. Maybe it's the nostalgia, but I feel like it's just a little bit more imagination going on, just a tiny bit more. Like, let's push the boundaries a tiny bit, and let's make it a little bit more wacky here and there. And maybe it's not quite as polished, but I don't know. It's just fun. There's something very fun about the Royal Knights compared to the Black Knights. Just a little bit more fun. But if the Black Knights won, I wouldn't be offended. I'm just not. Like, I understand it completely, but I think I understand this one a little better. So.
Mark?
Black Knights.
No.
Move on.
Oh, that's hard, Phil. Oh.
Great job.
Yeah.
I think Black Knights. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry. They're both great.
I think I will say I feel like Black Knight's Castle is a little less messy. I feel like this is there's a lot to it. It's very spread out. It's a little, but it feels very
cleaner.
clean. It feels
This one could withstand a trebuchet a little longer. So.
Yeah.
well, just like but they're both great. They're both great. All right, so
The fact that it took this thing to dethrone my favorite one, okay, fine, I'm happy. I'm not offended.
Black Knights versus this. I'm gonna go the Duplo Castle. To start off. This speaks to me. It's just so crazy and cool, and it's everything. It's I just love this. I love this set. It deserves so much love, and it doesn't get it. So,
Caleb, you need to review this.
That's because of how much people want for it.
I managed to pick up not some of these minifigures, but some Duplo Knights when I was out in Oregon, and they are incredible, and I do want more. Oh man.
Oh man.
Something tells me I'm not going to get my $500 back in ad revenue on the Duplo Castle review.
Oh man, who dare go first?
Yeah, a sealed Black Knight's Castle is going to run you several $1,000s.
Oh, never
probably
mind.
more like 3 or 4. So
3 or 4 grand for sealed one.
So okay, so maybe the Duplo sealed is a better bet.
it's a better
value. Maybe. Who knows?
I mean, I have to get one or the other.
Watch the Duplo one because it's so many people have done the Black Knights video.
Nobody's done the Duplo.
Yeah.
Oof.
I wanted to see you do that though, Caleb. That would be amazing.
The greatest castle you never heard of.
Yeah.
There could be a good clickbait title there. There definitely is a good clickbait title there.
I'm just gonna say, Caleb, your wife's threatening you.
Wait, is she supporting this?
Will,
yeah,
Duplo.
She wants.
Wait, okay, no, Audrey, if I vote Duplo, do I get to buy the sealed Duplo one
and review it?
Wait,
what did we say the price on that one? It was $1,200, but where was it from? Did I get
That was
free
eBay.
shipping? Did I get free shipping on it though?
No, it's $107 for shipping.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so
Man,
you're looking at roughly.
Well, I bet. There's 19
the permission.
Oh man, Caleb, what had happened?
Duplo, baby, let's go.
Did we even get stars? Oh, it's
happening! Thank you, Audrey.
Thank
you. Can we guest host?
Yeah, add it to my cart.
Are you buying it right now?
Yeah, there's 19 watchers. This thing is gonna get snatched up in no time.
Get it. Oh my word, this is insane.
The fact that was just captured on my stream.
Okay, if this thing doesn't win, it's good enough because we're gonna get more of this thing.
They do have 4 best off.
So now I have to review the whole line according to Wolfpack. It's going to be revisiting.
Maybe just start with this as a one-off. Wow.
For those who are just joining us, Caleb's life. I'll clip this for you, Audrey. I'll clip this. I'm recording this. Caleb's wife just said that he could buy this set if he voted for it.
New sealed.
What just happened?
Oh. We'll see about that.
This one is best offer, so you could get them down a little bit.
That's true.
Bring him down to $1,000.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Cool.
Throw in the free shipping.
Yeah, grand with free
Who
shipping.
wants to go next after that?
Black. You gonna do it? I already said black, so sorry.
Black Knights.
Black Knights. Okay. Please understand. Not for the reasons you think. It's not that I don't like the Duplo Castle. It's insane. But as far as like the history and the importance of the set and how cool it was for the ending of an era and such a beautiful send off for such an important part of Lego's history. Yeah, we'll go with that. And it's also an amazing build. I'm sure the Duplo one's an amazing build, but I love so much of the architecture that's, it's. Come on, guys! It's black. That's clearly the best one, but like it's like a Ferrari versus a monster truck. Which one is going to be the all-around better one? It's going to be the Ferrari.
Which one is actually street legal?
What's that?
Yeah. All right, Alex.
I said, which one is actually street legal?
Yeah,
exactly.
You have an opportunity here to do one of the craziest things on my stream that's ever happened. Well, sorry, second craziest.
I think I'm on board. I'm full support.
Duplo?
What?
Yeah, Duplo.
Wow.
Let's go!
Oh my word.
2-1.
Wait,
I'll
Omar,
balance the odds here.
No, wait, is it 3?
Is it 3
3-1?
Duplo?
I said Duplo. I'm
then
100%
Duplo.
on board.
I'll say Black Knights for posterity, but
Guys, this
Duplo
is the one. This is the castle. This is the castle.
In all seriousness, the Black Knights is superior. I think the build. I would want that one more, but just because I've never even seen this one, the pieces are ridiculously priced, and I feel like this one could have some really cool like revamps into mocks and such, especially that back tower. feel like you can make some really cool facades with that. There's a lot of unique pieces
We do have a few.
you could reincorporate it into something.
Yeah, the dark bluish gray ones. I mean, really, guys, though, really. I mean, it's a meme. It's funny, and we get to see it.
Andrew, hold up here. The peer pressure from chat is getting to me a bit, but
What are they saying?
I am
What are they
looking
saying?
at this of like
Bring
this
up some
set
comments.
is.
Bring up some comments.
All right.
We got
Yeah.
like 2 Duplo haters. Don't listen to them.
Wow, this is awful.
I feel like I'm on the right side of history.
Look, guys.
What else are they saying?
The Black Knight's castle is top 4 best Lego castles ever made.
Yeah.
And can we just say the stream is for fun? We're
Yep.
not taking this
That's
very
why I chose
seriously.
Duplo.
What is the Duplo going to go against? The trolls? Like, is it going to win to the trolls? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. But I will say, like, I'm having fun with this stream. So I'm just going for the picks that I think were like,
hey, if
what would
you
I
feel it,
enjoy?
go Duplo.
And I'm not like, we're having fun here. You know what? We're having fun. And I do think, however, I'm gonna say this. Duplo, I think, wins this for me.
Yeah.
But I will say the Black Knight's castle is top 4 best castles of all time. I do think it is a fantastic castle set. We already know the best Lego castle ever made. The best Lego castle ever made is this. And the second we took this one out of the running, like,
Now it's
this
for fun.
was just for fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
That's a good point.
so
Could I make an
I
observation?
honestly,
Oh, sorry.
this set speaks to me so much in a way that the Black Knight's castle doesn't. And the Black Knight's castle is a fantastic set. Fantastic set. Like, really, it's one of the most well done, like, rounded out castles on the old classic castles. But I'm just like, you know what? I want to have fun. Like, this is fun. There's so much to it. So I got to go with this.
Could I make an observation?
Yeah.
Just a brief one.
Yeah.
This is objectively the most iconic classic castle outside of obviously the yellow one. But this has been the front runner for forever, for decades. This has been the front runner, what we're looking at here. What we got in front of the table right here. This has been the front runner for so long as the reigning champ forever. I think, though, I think this order would be refreshing and be funny and make sense for us if you had Trolls number 1, Duplo in silver, and this one in third. I think that would be a fun way to sort of say it there. Obviously, we could vote on them.
You have to get to those.
We have to get to those. But,
Yeah.
like, if I could pick the front runners, I would say the Troll Castle is... I think that's just so cool. And it also honors the Lego-ness of what we love about Lego. It honors all of it. And this one honors all of the history. But the Duplo, I think, deserves to be in the top 3 somewhere. So let's just... I think it's fair to put this in a third place spot if that's possible. So, this one here, what we're looking at.
I will say, I think this castle set was the runner for so long because of who the castle fans were. And I feel like a huge thing for the longest time was castle fans were these older fans. And I understand that. But I also think Castle has changed so much since then, and so much more has been added to Lego Castle, and the fans have brought in, and what we love has brought in, and the things that the media and stuff that's out there has affected us of the stuff that we enjoy. I mean, I love Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings has always had a big place in my heart, which is why a lot of the fantasy sets move so far for me. And I think a lot of people love this because it's so like much more of a historically accurate, but this is honestly, I think Duplo Castle for me. This just, I don't know. It's insane and I love it and it's cool. So
It's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, the dragon is pretty crazy too.
Yeah, when that thing came up in the earlier shots, when we were going through some of the pictures, we were all like, whoa, we all just moved forward. All of us moved forward to the screen to see this thing better. All of us did.
All right.
All I'm saying is, Caleb, when you buy that, I want to be notified. I want to be one of the first to watch this video.
Same.
Caleb, when you buy that, can we do a conference call and just talk about it with you? Like, I don't know. Like,
You can join me on a live build. Yeah.
dude, hold up. Bring it to Chicago and I'll help you build.
We gotta go to Chicago.
Yes.
There's 380 pieces. This could be built by multiple people, and it would still be a good time.
And they're big parts.
All right, the final matchup, because you know what? Everyone, when they were like commenting on the stream, like before the stream happened, was like, oh yeah, Black Knight's Cast is going to make it all the way. And I was like, I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen. I'm going to find the craziest sets to get. So it is Trolls versus Duplo Castle.
Wow.
And I don't know what I want to win right now.
Trolls. To save our credibility, we need trolls.
How do you need trolls?
Because this has it has a lot of the wow and madness of that Duplo one too, guys. Let's be honest. This one has a lot of that crazy fun factor too that the Duplo has. Not all of it, but it has a lot of it. So I think just to save our tails here and save our reputations as former Castle and Castle Bros, I think we should go with the Trolls Castle. I'm just saying that. Just put it on the record. Trolls Castle, please.
Steven doesn't want to get eaten alive by the
I have a reputation.
Oh man.
I think I don't care what reputation is. If I was a kid, I'm going Duplo. I think Duplo. This is huge build. This build is huge. If I just put a regular Lego dude on this, I'd have a heyday.
Yep.
I think I still would have a heyday.
Okay, to make this interesting, Alex, I'm gonna follow that up with it's like really flip a coin for me because I love both of these sets, but I think I would go for the Troll Fortress more because I missed out on the Trolls and Orcs. I only have like 3 or 4 of those figures, and I would love to have more of those in my collection.
Mm-hmm.
The Duplo Castle is awesome, but I think I'd find that less useful overall in mock building. So I think I would lean towards that. But oh man, I can understand it. It's so special and so unique. Caleb, I really am looking forward to your video.
I want to see it so bad.
I can enjoy it vicariously through you because I don't think I'm going to go around to collecting that. But now, what do you guys think? Those two on the end.
It's 2-1 now.
I think a lot of those parts could be used, and I feel like it'd be pretty challenging.
Good.
But
Some of them.
I think you could have a good
Caleb?
challenge trying to use those.
What do you want to...
So, I have to go with Trolls Mountain Fortress because I have not yet reviewed the Duplo set. I can't make it, so my opinion is subject to change here. But I love the Trolls Mountain Fortress. I mean, the tatted up big trolls.
It's so cool.
The Witch, the King, those are some of not just the best, figures of Fantasy era. They're some of the best Castle minifigures ever. It's a really cool set. I love how much of it is brick built, like we talked about earlier. It takes that perfected format and just spins it on its head. No one expects this to come out of that. In many ways, it's a wonderful callback even as far as the yellow castle. It's the same layout, right? But I don't know, I feel like this honors the traditions of Castle but keeps it so new and exciting. And yeah, for me it is a wonderful Castle set.
My vote doesn't matter. But I am going to say Trolls too. And I love the Duplo set. I really do love it. And I didn't just vote it through for the meme. I really do think this is...
I believe you. I believe you.
Yeah.
It is funny for the meme. There is a lot of laughs. I'm having a lot of fun with it. But can I just say, Fantasy Era spoke to me as a kid in ways that very few Lego Castle themes have. And I love every Lego Castle theme. I've always been a Lego Castle theme fan. But Fantasy Era had something different to it. And there is a magic in Fantasy Era. I think Fantasy Era is what Knights Kingdom 2, is what Nexo Knights, and is what so many other Castle themes that tried to be it, is. It's crazy and wacky, but makes sense. It's insane, but also, again, it makes, the vehicles in Fantasy Era make sense. This set makes sense in the Fantasy Era world with the lore of the Fantasy Era sets. It matches, not only the crowns, but also the, it also matches the other vehicles that we gotten for the Trolls. This was one of the last sets in the wave for Fantasy Era, and yet fantastic. They knocked it out of the park. This set was one that I looked at as a kid and just wanted because it's just so amazing. And, you know, we've gotten villain fortresses, but we never got one that felt like a good guy castle that was more villainated. It's the only word I can think of. And I don't know. There's something about trolls that there's a reason that I have a humongous orc army. And trolls was what started that for me. Mm-hmm. So I gotta go with it. I just there's something about fantasy that speaks to me, and I love it. So I gotta go with it.
Mm-hmm. It's a fluent design language and story language that just speaks to everyone. It's a fluent language.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It really is.
Yeah.
Now, do we want to compare that to the
Lion Knights Castle
Alliance? Yeah.
This is interesting.
Now, for the stream purposes, the Troll Mountain Fortress won the stream, right?
Yes.
Yes. This is just like a theoretical. So
this is a theoretical. All right, guys. So we talked about this in the beginning of the stream. We pulled out the Lion Knights Castle because we personally think the Lion Knights Castle is one of the best castles ever made, and we just didn't think it was going to be fair, and it was just going to kind of screw everything up. So we pulled that out, and honestly, we should pull out the Black Knights Castle because that would have made things even more fun. But with all that being said, we're just going to have a little fun. Trolls versus Lion Knights Castle here. I've been talking crazy about the Trolls, but I will say Lion Knights Castle, I built on live stream, the whole thing, and I will say I have never had so much fun building a Lego set. It is sturdy. It is well put together. I loved every little play feature that they included into it. The minifigure selection is phenomenal. I know we've gotten a lot of those figures since then, but at the time of this set coming out, it is phenomenal. And on top, it's so sturdy. And I remember the little lore notes while you're building it. This set was right after, it was really there was a bunch of sets that pushed me over the edge into Castle, and I kept diving more and more down that road. And then this set came out, and I fell in love with Castle like I never felt before. This set did it I remember when they announced this, and I screamed in happiness on that live. I was so excited for it, and I think they have never done a set like this. This is the best Lego Castle ever made.
Didn't they live stream when this came out in Brick World Chicago? I remember
I wasn't there for that, but I know what you're talking about.
I brought my castle, and I remember looking on the big screen, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy that."
Was it LegoCon or something like that was happening?
Yeah, it was LegoCon.
Yeah.
Or Brick
Was it? Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was simultaneously, they're probably streaming it at Brick World. So yeah.
Yeah, I just they didn't do that any of the other years I went there, but
I don't think LegoCon is a thing anymore.
Yeah, probably not.
They did it twice.
I do remember that. That was very. I loved seeing that. It was cool.
Yeah, cool moment. I'll follow Brad. I love the Trolls Mountain Fortress because I don't have it. I want to collect it one day, even if I don't build it because I don't want all the pieces to break. But this is a phenomenal set. But me and Steven built the Lion Knights Castle also on live stream, and it's so exceptional. It's Mike Psyche and the other guys who were involved in designing it did such an incredible job. None of those walls are on right angles. They're all on different angles. It opens up. You can play in all the rooms. There's tons of details. It's unfair to compare any other castle to this, really, because it's so good. But so for me, it's also this one. And I think we did the right choice by having a more fun discussion by that, not steamrolling anything.
It wouldn't have been fair.
But yeah, so that's my opinion. I want to hear.
You build a lot of older Lego castles, and they have a tendency to fall apart. That ain't gonna fall apart.
It's very sturdy.
Caleb, you want to go next? Do you want me to go next? Would you want to go last, or what do you want to do?
Oh, I'll go. Yeah. I was a hater. I wouldn't say I was a hater, but I definitely felt the set was overhyped on its initial release, and I waited 2.5 years basically to finally get it. But once you build this thing, you definitely find out how amazing it is. And I felt pretty stupid while I was building it because I also had a lot of fun. It is just so perfectly designed, and it is simple. It's a simple set, the way it looks, but those angles especially just blew my mind, and the way that it folds up, it's so perfect. So it is the ultimate love letter to Lego Castle in every single way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's that good. No, opposite. Yeah. We've been talking so eloquently about it. It's a masterpiece, but this is the one Lego set. I can't remember another Lego set that did this to me, but as I was building it, I thought, man, I stink at castle. Man, I suck at castle. This is so much smarter than anything I've ever done. It made me want to build castle better. Like, I felt outplayed by a Lego set. I've never felt that way before. I even spoke to Mike Psyche a bit. He visited here in Atlanta once, and he got to hang out in the studio for a bit. It was a wonderful day. We went out to dinner with him and a bunch of other people, and I leaned over. I was sitting next to him, leaned over. I'm like, Mike, how did you do that bridge? And he's like, well, I just did it. I'm like, that's all I need. I just did it. Like, he just came with a few prototypes, whatever. It's like, no, I just did it. I'm like, he just did it, and it's better than I would have ever done. So, like, holy smokes. I went and built a castle right after. I'm like, I need to know if I'm still good at this. It was a truly, I really appreciate the, putting me back in perspective of not like getting into my own head.
Humbling.
Like, it's very humbling in a very good way. So no other set did that to me. It really is the best, one of the best Lego sets of all time, frankly. Not just the best Lego castle set. A masterpiece, deserving of the win. I think it would be great with the troll set next to it, like the bad guys, because there's no bad guy fort right bad guys. It's all good
Can
guys.
I just say,
the village is really
they
cool, but
remade
it's all good
this in
guys.
that style, like
Like,
an insane
that
orc
big?
fort.
Ooh, that would be cool. Or even a Batlord version. But
Yeah.
those two
God,
that would be amazing. That would be just so sick. So, what are you gonna say? It's the best, no question. But that troll fort does put up a nasty fight.
Does.
Yeah.
Can I just say also the leveling on this set, where it isn't just one flat, like there's tunnel systems that cut through. It's insane. So yeah, Alex, I don't know if you got a chance to.
I too built this set. I remember pretty sure I called in sick for work, so I bought this set with all my VIP points. So I didn't pay $1 for this set. I had all of them saved up. I was like, this is the set I want to spend it on. And it sat in my room, and I looked at it. I loved the box art so much that I didn't even want to open it. And I stared at it probably for a solid month, maybe 2. And then one day I finally was like, all right, I'm calling in today, and I'm going to build this thing. And I sat down and built it, and it was so much fun. There's a lot of clever techniques, and I love the little, and they do this in a lot of the other sets too now. I love the little remarks and paying homage to all the originals and older sets. I think that's such a cool thing. They've been doing that with like the space sets, like the classic ones, like the Galaxy Explorer and then the new Renegade. They did that, and I think that's a really cool thing they need to start doing with a lot of these that they are remaking or variations of older sets or stuff. But I would love to see. I'm still a sucker for the Black Knight's Castle. I would love to see that in this style. And again, I'd like to see Basil's Tower in this too. I think those two would be two that would be phenomenal, especially if they did the Black Knight's Castle, not dark bluish gray, but black with the light, just classic colors, but with modern technique, modern pieces. I think it's going to be something I eventually try to tackle, but yeah, I loved it.
I will say I don't want them to remake a set. I want them to take the ideas like they did for this one. They took a lot of ideas from different stuff and then make their own out of it. Because it gives the designers so much more creative freedom, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Let's see a whole set line. Anyway.
Yeah. But, guys, this was a crazy, longest stream I've ever done, and I'm so sorry I held you guys hostage for this long.
This is great.
This was so much fun. Oh my gosh, you guys. Look, I apologize to the chat of how this turned out. This was.
Are they mad?
You know what, though? You know what? That was what makes this fun. I really wanted to have fun with this one. Just see where we could go and talk about it. You guys know we are Castle fans. How we look at these sets is very different. And honestly, if it wasn't that I was having so much fun, there'd probably be other sets that have come on top. We're not going to wait another 2 years before we do another bracket live stream, because I'm going to make sure that happens another time this year. So I love it. I apologize again that I messed up on the bracket, but also I think it led to a more fun ending.
Agreed.
So I appreciate you, everyone who joined. Hey, if you're new to channel, first time, hit that subscribe button and also hit that like button. Like this video and go check out all these amazing content creators. Caleb makes awesome retrospective videos. He is killing it on the Lego space right now. Lavish does some awesome mock builds over on Instagram, but he also is working on mock builds, including a Wolfpack one.
Yeah, it's
on
right back
YouTube.
here.
And Mark here is doing
piece to
awesome
it.
12-hour builds every week, or 24-hour, whatever awesome builds. I think Steven helps him and does other stuff. But, yeah. But you can also find us at LEGO conventions throughout the year. But thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart we had over 100 people watching live. So at one point. So thank you guys so much. I hope that you guys have a fantastic probably rest of your night and get some sleep, all of you.
Enjoy the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. But that'll be it. Any other thoughts before I end this live stream, guys?
Thank you, Brad. This was
Thank
a
you,
lot
Brad.
of fun.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
We're going to end it there. Thank you guys so much and have yourself a great rest of your day. And don't forget to go buy some Lego Castle.
Not all of it. Don't buy
Not all, yeah, some rust